Yeah, sorry, it was a couple of minutes late getting to the comments. I had some other stuff to tend to here behind the scenes. Guys, welcome in. Welcome in. Welcome in. We've got a lot lined up for you. I have stolen tonight's topic, the title of today's show. I have robbed it from our one of our excellent commenters, and I think it's perfect for tonight's show. Realize, realize, real lies, and it's absolutely perfect. I do have a good opening tonight, and I will explain the connection after we do the opening. I think some of you will understand it as we're going through it. It's a foundational principle of law, and it's one of the guarantees the United States Supreme Court has set forth to try to guarantee everybody has a fair trial. And it's being abused. It's being misused. I spent some time over the last several days really reading through some of the defense and state briefs in the state of Utah versus Tyler Robinson case in order to try to get a better understanding of what were the arguments about pretrial publicity and media in the courtroom and cameras in the courtroom and all that. And so I've selected this opening to try to provide a little bit of an explanation, I think, for what's going on, because a lot of people are using some of the pretrial motions of the defense to question whether the defense is actually doing a good job or not. And I have a little different opinion on that. I've kind of come back and forth on that a few times, but I have a little different opinion on that after having spent some time going through the briefs over the last several days. So the opening, I hope you find as excellent as I did. We also are going to get into some of the absolute patent lies. I keep getting this question: when has Erika Kirk ever told a lie? You just make up baseless stuff. Oh, we'll talk about it. We'll talk about it. Nissy had an excellent video that came out yesterday. We'll look at a couple of pieces of that. I have some additional lies I want to throw in there as well. Also, there was a very strange attack on your humble host that took place and sort of went semi-viral yesterday. And I leaned into it because I thought it was great. If you want to attack me, guys, that's the way to do it. We'll look at that as well. So we're going to have a good show. I hope you buckle up, get your safety harness ready, settle in, and we'll get right to it. Let me get right to the opening statement here because this show could get long, and I don't want to take any more time than we have to. So, ladies and gentlemen, with your permission, this is your opening statement. The 1966 Shepard versus Maxwell opinion from the United States Supreme Court stands as a cornerstone of American criminal procedure. It established strict limits on how courts must manage prejudicial, pretrial, and trial publicity in order to safeguard the 6th and 14th Amendment rights to an impartial jury and due process. The facts of the case are brutal. Buckle up. If you've got a queasy stomach, you may want to turn the volume down a little bit. In 1954, Marilyn Reese Shepard was murdered in Bay Village, Ohio. Bay Village is a suburb just outside of Cleveland. On the morning of July 4th, 30-year-old osteopath Dr. Sam Shepard reported that an intruder had attacked him in his home and killed his pregnant wife in their lakeside home. Shepard claimed he had fought the bushy-haired assailant. He had been knocked unconscious and later discovered his wife, Marilyn, bludgeoned to death in the upstairs bedroom. Because a spouse is almost always considered the prime suspect when the other spouse dies, police investigated Dr. Shepard. It's important to note that they investigated him despite his own sustained injuries that included, among other injuries, a broken neck and several broken teeth. Police cited inconsistencies in his statements. They found that he had told a few lies. The lack of signs of forced entry and rumors of an extramarital affair with a former hospital lab technician. Despite Dr. Shepard's insistence that an unknown intruder committed the crime, the investigation swiftly narrowed solely against him. Dr. Shepard's nightmare began with his arrest on July 30th, 1954. It was followed by an indictment just a few weeks later. His trial opened really quickly. Man, when I was reading this case, I was like, man, justice moved quickly in the 1950s. His trial opened on October 18th, 1954, in the Cuyahoga County Court of Common Pleas there in the Cleveland area. From the outset, the proceedings were engulfed in what the Supreme Court of the United States later called a carnival atmosphere. Cleveland newspapers, especially the Cleveland Press, ran a relentless campaign against Dr. Shepard. Front page editorials demanded Shepard's arrest, including the not so subtly titled, "Why Isn't Sam Shepard in Jail?" They published purported confessions and detailed alleged motives tied to infidelity. Radio was popular at the time, and even the emerging medium of television was broadcasting the inquest live. Cameras in the courtroom, reporters filling every available seat. Judge refused a change of venue. He also declined to sequester the jury until very late in the trial. And he really made no serious effort to shield the jurors from the deluge of carnival press. 11 of the 12 jurors had read or heard prejudicial news stories before even being sworn in as jurors. The courtroom itself became a media hub. Reporters and photographers collaborated openly with prosecutors. The judge himself reportedly told a reporter privately that Shepard was guilty as hell. After 5 days of deliberation, the jury convicted Dr. Shepard of second-degree murder. On December 21, 1954, he was sentenced to life in prison. Dr. Shepard's appeals in Ohio state courts failed. The Ohio Court of Appeals affirmed his conviction in 1955. The Ohio Supreme Court upheld his conviction in 1956. And even the United States Supreme Court declined to hear the case later that year. Shepard served 10 years in prison while his family disintegrated. His mother committed suicide. His father died. And his wife, his dead wife, her father also took his own life. It was just a tragedy. 1964, famed defense attorney F. Lee Bailey took over the case and filed a federal habeas corpus petition. A U.S. district judge granted relief, finding the trial fundamentally unfair due to publicity and judicial bias. The Sixth Circuit reversed, but the Supreme Court granted cert on the habeas issue. On June 6, 1966, 12 years, almost to the day, almost to the month, after the brutal murder, in an 8-1 opinion, the United States Supreme Court reversed Dr. Shepard's conviction. The decision held that the massive, pervasive, and prejudicial publicity and the trial judge's failure to protect Dr. Shepard from it violated his due process. While reaffirming the robust First Amendment freedoms we have here in these United States, the court stressed that judges must take affirmative steps to ensure a fair trial. Those steps may include a change of venue, sequestration, courtroom control, limits on prejudicial statements, and others. The case was remanded with instructions to release Dr. Shepard immediately or promptly retry him. The retrial began shortly after that, October 24, 1966. This time there was a different trial judge, and he was determined to avoid any repeat of the earlier chaos. Media access to the courtroom was very strictly limited. Only a handful of reporters were allowed in. Cameras and interviews with participants was strictly banned, and the atmosphere remained calm and professional. F. Lee Bailey, for his part, mounted a very aggressive defense on behalf of Dr. Shepard. The prosecution was forced to abandon its original theory that Dr. Shepard used a surgical instrument as the murder weapon. The coroner was forced under cross-examination to admit he could find no matching instrument anywhere in medicine. Crucially, the defense experts introduced powerful scientific evidence. A dentist, for example, testified that Shepard's broken teeth could not have been self-inflicted. A physician confirmed that his broken neck was consistent with general struggle, a genuine struggle against an assailant, and nearly impossible to be done due to self-injury. Blood splatter analysis by forensic scientists suggested the killer was left-handed. Dr. Shepard was, in fact, right-handed. And the defense highlighted blood evidence on a door that did not match either victim. And it did not match Dr. Shepard. Or excuse me, it did not match either victim or Dr. Shepard, either the victim or Dr. Shepard. Excuse me. I'm just learning how to read English. Bailey also emphasized the absence of any murder weapon linking Shepard to the crime. Dr. Shepard did not take the stand. After 12 hours of deliberation, the jury returned a unanimous not guilty verdict. The jurors were apparently persuaded by the reasonable doubt created by the medical and forensic evidence and the lack of direct physical proof tying Shepard to the killing. Also, the absence of media-fueled presumption of guilt that had dominated the first trial. The controlled environment allowed them to focus on the actual evidence rather than the spectacle or being told what they should find. So the Shepard case has an obvious parallel to the ongoing prosecution of Tyler James Robinson for the murder of Charlie Kirk. Robinson's case has generated a media storm, and it's frankly strikingly similar to the 1954 frenzy against Dr. Shepard. There is national television coverage. There's relentless online commentary. There's viral social media speculation. And there's a flood of insistence that Robinson planned and executed the murder of Charlie Kirk as a lone gunman motivated by political hatred. Anyone who questions that narrative is viciously and savagely attacked. Defense attorneys have cited survey data showing 99% of potential jurors in Utah County are aware of the Charlie Kirk murder and the Tyler Robinson criminal case. 64%, well over half, have already made up their mind that Robinson is guilty based on media reports alone. Robinson's lawyers, for their part, have argued that live-streamed hearings lead to sensational headlines and speculative commentary, such as a New York Post article that used lip reading to try to interpret his courtroom remarks, and that they may have already irreparably tainted the jury pool. This is precisely the kind of inherently prejudicial publicity that the court condemned in the case of Dr. Shepard. So the defense filed motions to ban cameras and electronic media. And in those motions, they invoked this case, Shepard versus Maxwell. And they warned that continuing to broadcast the case would exacerbate this bias. It would reinforce the prosecution's narrative, and it would undermine the defense and the defendant's right to an impartial jury. The defense lawyers highlighted the primacy effect, whereby early, overwhelmingly negative publicity shapes how jurors weigh later evidence. Nevertheless, just a few weeks ago, or last week even, Judge Tony Graff rejected a blanket prohibition on cameras. He ruled that Utah law requires a case-by-case evaluation and that transparency serves the public interest. And that's especially true when the case is subject to rampant misinformation. He imposed modest restrictions, such as cameras positioned at the back of the courtroom, certain limits on coverage, but he allowed future proceedings to be open to live media. Dr. Shepard's case illustrated the dangers of unchecked local media, turning a trial into entertainment and presuming guilt before the evidence is ever presented in court. Dr. Shepard did not commit the crime, but that didn't stop the jury from being swayed by the constant drumbeat of negative coverage. They eventually convicted him. The Tyler Robinson case, of course, adds modern layers over the antiquated guidance offered in Shepard versus Maxwell. The Supreme Court in 1966 could not have envisioned, for example, instantaneous national digital amplification, criminal cases becoming decidedly partisan affairs, 24-hour news cycles, podcasters and online sleuths examining every detail, and a general new media ecosystem that can distort facts faster than any newspaper possibly could have dreamed in the 1950s. So while Shepard's judge failed to act in the face of the growing media circus, modern judges like Judge Graff actually face the opposite pressure. If a judge acts too quickly or sets forth boundaries deemed by the public to be too restrictive, modern audiences suspect something's being hidden from them, and they attribute it to nefarious purposes. So Shepard's remedy of overturning the conviction and mandating safeguards has set the template with which today's courts must wrestle. The tensions between the First and Sixth Amendments remain the same, at least in theory. And whether Tyler James Robinson ultimately receives a fair trial will depend on whether Judge Graff's measured approach or stricter controls, if needed, can insulate the eventual jury from the very publicity the Supreme Court warned against 60 years ago. The Shepard precedent remains a vital reminder that justice must be decided in the courtroom, not in the court of public opinion. And that is your opening statement. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. I hope you understand why I'm giving it, and maybe why I'm giving it today. The other side's amplified their attacks, and they've amplified their means by which they're attacking. I think we've identified, at least circumstantially, a coordinated attack that many of us never saw coming, and it's attacked many people in this space in particular, in the online podcasting space. It's deceptive, it's devious, it's subtle, and it's been effective at times, but ultimately it has failed because it was discovered quickly and snuffed out very, very fast. And it just reminds me that the other side is absolutely willing to pull out every stop imaginable in order to convict Tyler Robinson and put this case to bed. Because this isn't about finding justice. Not to them. I believe this is about burying the facts of this case. They never intended that we would be around this long. They never intended that we would be around this long. Later in the show, I'll show you a good example that even we did not realize we would be around this long. But first, I want to do something. I want to triple down. I'm going to get to the lies. I'm going to get to the attacks. I'm going to get to all that. But I got to spend about 3 minutes tripling down on the 9/11 arrest date. I can't let this go because I think I'm right. And even if I'm wrong, it doesn't really matter. But if they're wrong, it's massive. And what I mean by that is it's my contention that Tyler Robinson was Mirandized at 6:25 p.m. on September 11th, Thursday, September 11th, in Washington County. Now, he may have been Mirandized later, another time, maybe later that night in Washington County again, maybe the next morning or the next afternoon in Utah County. But I believe that the defense motion that references a 6:25 Miranda reading was from September 11th. And I believe I have good reason for that. And again, if I'm wrong about that, no harm, no foul, really. Doesn't really change anything. If I'm right about that, everything changes. Because the case goes from being about what happened at the scene and whether or not Tyler Robinson pulled the trigger and whether or not the trigger pull resulted in the death of Charlie Kirk. If I'm right, the case goes from that to who wrote the Discord message, who's framing this guy. It's a massive switch. Again, if it turns out the Miranda warning was from 6:25 p.m. on the 12th, big deal. Nothing changes. Nothing really changes. But if I'm right and it was September 11th, they're in real trouble. And I think I have even more evidence. I'm going to give you two quick things today. Both are very, very quick. This won't take but a couple of minutes, but I have to do it because when you're right, you're right. And I got a bad habit of being right, guys. I hate it, but I do. And I'm very quick to correct myself when I'm wrong. But the bad habit of being right, man, it's just tough. This is a notice, a post, a Facebook post from the Washington County Attorney's Office. The Washington County Attorney's Office. This is the county that Tyler Robinson turned himself into outside of St. George, a little town called Hurricane, Utah. You may be seeing in the news that a young man named Tyler Robinson has been arrested in connection with Charlie Kirk's death. It's important to note that this is September 12th. This is Friday. And it was at 9:59 a.m. So this is an early post, 9:59 my time, which means it's 8:59 their time, 8:59 a.m. The suspect, Tyler Robinson, was arrested in Washington County last night, and he has been transported to Utah County. So for all you crazies out there, for all you Fed sloppers, for all you people downing Alpo day in and day out, for all you guys just can't get enough of the Alpo, can't get enough of Alpo good for dogs. Alpo bad for fed sloppers. Don't eat it. It's not good for humans. But for those of you eating the fed slop, this is just yet again, and this is not the only evidence, obviously, I've given, but this is even more evidence that he was arrested on September 11th in Washington County, and their entire argument requires that he was arrested on September 12th in Utah County. And the Washington County Attorney's Office says, no, that's not true. That's not true at all. In fact, that's not remotely true. He was arrested last night. And now again, it's not me saying, not your humble host. Your humble host is merely reading the words of the Washington County Attorney's Office. That's all I'm doing. I'm not making it up. I'm not lying. I'm not doing all the grift. I'm not doing any of that. All the things they always say we're doing on this side, I'm doing none of it. He was arrested last night. That was September 12th that they wrote that, which means, according to them, not your humble host, according to them, he was arrested the evening of September 11th, on the evening of his arrest. So a Miranda that was given to him at 6:25 p.m. on the evening of his arrest would then be class what day? He was arrested on September 11th, per them. That's what they said, not me. He was arrested on September 11th. So a Miranda warning read to him on the evening of his arrest would be what day? Right, class. September 11th. That's right. So do you have anything else to add to this? Well, one more thing. It was always suspicious to us when we first saw this. This was always suspicious. I never quite understood why they were doing this at the time, but oh my goodness, now does it make sense? Do you remember this story when the local news was trying to get the footage of Tyler Robinson turning himself in? And that they would not turn it over to the press? But then later, oh, even though we told you it didn't exist, we actually do have it. But we're only turning it over to law enforcement, even though you as the press are entitled to it, and you asked for it, and you asked for it correctly, and we lied to you and told you we deleted it. Possible missing surveillance video of Tyler Robinson turning himself into Washington County Sheriff's Office just days ago after allegedly shooting and killing Charlie Kirk has been uncovered. Quote, our job was not to interview. Our job was just to get him here. Within the hour, my friend drove Tyler and his parents to my office where he was greeted by plainclothes detectives. A public records request was filed with the Washington County Sheriff's Office for video showing Robinson entering the Washington County jail holding area and video of Robinson in a holding room. Quote, we do not have any records responsive to this portion of the request as Robinson did not go to or enter the jail area. That was their first response. So the news re-upped their request with a more generalized set of words, surveillance video showing Tyler Robinson walking into. To which they got a response. Our office does not have any applicable records responsive to this request as the surveillance footage is no longer available after the 30-day retention period. In other words, we delete our stuff after 30 days, so we don't have it. Well, when asked if the video was shared with any law enforcement or legal agency, the department responded, it's my understanding it was never sent out to any agency. So Channel 2 News here took the questions to a criminal defense attorney of 26 years in Utah who works on capital cases. And he said, for the state of Utah, we would certainly hope this video is available. Oh, yeah, me too. And I haven't been practicing in Utah for 26 years, but it seems to me that the footage should be available. In fact, if it has been destroyed and not preserved, it's very concerning. And if it has, then it's very concerning that they're telling you they don't have it. Oh, if they no longer have it, I would have expected to say that this video has been provided to Utah County law enforcement, but instead this letter leads, in my opinion, as trying to shut the door and not give you free access to the press. Bautista said the video evidence of Robinson turning himself in would be crucial for the defense work of mitigation. Interesting. So what you're saying, Mr. Bautista, calling me. Oh, yeah, you calling me? Okay, good. So Mr. Bautista, would it be concerning if they deleted the video? Yes, Mr. Coleman, it would be very concerning. Mr. Bautista, may I ask you a follow-up? Would it be unusual because defense lawyers often introduce this for mitigation? Yes, Mr. Coleman, that would be highly unusual. Mr. Bautista, if I may, is it possible they didn't want to release it because they lied about what time he turned himself in? Of course. Of course. Of course that's what it is. Allegedly, in my opinion. I absolutely think that's why it's not been released to the press and why it wasn't released to the press. So once again, ladies and gentlemen, the ball is in your court. Do you have evidence other than what they've said? Do you have paper documented evidence that Tyler Robinson was not read his Miranda rights at 6:25 p.m. on September 11th? I think it's relevant. Now, you may not. And if you don't, that's fine. Then I have my opinion. You have your opinion. I can't say you're wrong. I can say I have what is becoming a mountain of evidence that I'm right, but I can't say you're wrong. So you can't say I'm wrong. Because the only thing you're relying on is what they're saying. And my contention is they're lying. So if I accuse you of lying, for example, your kid is supposed to be home by midnight. He comes home at 1:30 a.m. You know he comes home at 1:30 a.m. because when he punched his code in, it entered into your phone. I don't know how you get into your house, but they leaves a code. It says so-and-so access the door at 1:30 a.m. If you go up the next morning and I say, hey, I've got evidence you weren't here by midnight. And they say, oh, yeah, I was here by midnight. I say, well, I have proof you weren't. I have circumstantial evidence that you did not come in until 1:30. And they say, oh, but I was here by 12. I say, well, do you have anything else? Because I'm accusing you of lying. Well, I'm not lying. I just said I was here at 12. But my accusation is that you're being dishonest. Yes, I know. Okay, do you have evidence you were here by 12? Yes. Me saying I was here by 12. You see how absurd that is? You see how ridiculous that is? That's the situation we find ourselves in. The only evidence we have is their statement, and their statement seems to be contradicted by a mountain of circumstantial evidence that we can point to. You've deleted the footage of him turning himself in or refused to turn it over to the police. To turn it over to the press. You introduced videos, bait stamp 3996, that are dated September 11th, but you're saying that for some reason they actually were really September 12th? Looks like you're lying. You have your Washington County Attorney's Office saying he was arrested last night. You have the motion saying on the night he was arrested, he was Mirandized at 6:25 p.m. This all seems to point to one conclusion. He was arrested on September 11th. You seem to be lying. What say you? Oh, I'm not lying. Well, do you have evidence of that? Yes. It's me saying it. Yeah, but I'm saying you're lying. Yeah, but it's right here. Yeah, but those are your words. I'm saying you're lying. Yeah, this is the situation. This is what we're being argued. This is the attack we're receiving. This is how ludicrous their position has become. Again, I say, I'll leave open the very small possibility it was September 12th. And if it was, it doesn't change my position at all. If it was September 11th, you guys are screwed. You guys are screwed. Because now you've lost all credibility. You're going out there saying definitively he was there. I'm saying it looks like it was September 11th. You're saying definitively it was September 12th. So you've lost credibility. But more importantly, now we have a problem with who wrote the Discord confession at 8 o'clock. Who wrote it? Because that was an hour and a half after he was Mirandized. So with that, I think I can put it to bed. We've talked about it now 3 nights in a row. I don't want to talk about it again, unless it comes back up. What I do want to talk about tonight is an excellent video, but I want to get into it. There's an excellent video that Nissy's put out. If you don't watch Nissy Social, you should watch Nissy Social when she puts out videos. They're generally very, very good. Particularly her coverage of the Charlie Kirk case has been very good. But I want to set it up this way. I am so sick and tired of the Grieving Widow Act. I am so sick and tired of the Grieving Widow Act. I'm so sick and tired of being told I'm not allowed to point out things about a grieving widow, if she's even grieving. But I'm tired of being told I can't point things out about a widow. Oh, you know she lost her husband. Well, what does that mean? What in the world does that have to do with what we're talking about? It has nothing to do with what we're talking. Nothing. I'm trying to point out she has a documented long history of dishonesty. The dishonesty goes to the heart of the relationship between Erika Kirk and Charlie Kirk. And if it's all built on a foundation of lies, if we've been BS'd from the very beginning, before we even knew who this woman was, before they had even announced that they were dating, if we've been BS'd from the beginning, then how do we believe anything she says or does right now? And so I want to play pieces of this because she put together a compilation of Erika Kirk, in my opinion, just flat out getting caught in lies. And some of them are pretty good, and some of them are things we haven't covered on here. There's actually one angle she takes on one particular lie that I didn't cover. It was great. As soon as I got done with it, I was like, oh my gosh, I don't ever want to make Nissy mad. She reads everything. She watches every video. So let me jump into it so that we proceed without haste, ladies and gentlemen. I'm trying to work a little more Lionel into my dialect. I'm trying to use bigger words. Uh-oh, I've lost something. Oh, there. I'm trying to use bigger words so that I can be more like Lionel when I grow up. Man, all right, here we go. This is how she opens her coverage of the very deeply dishonest Erika Kirk.
There are no shortage of statements that have been made regarding Erika or by Erika that don't hold up to scrutiny. The biggest and most recent example being a TPUSA event that she was supposed to host with her twin brother, JD Vance. Erika was supposed to host this event alongside the vice president, JD Vance. However, she didn't show up.
So for those of you wondering why I don't have really flowing, long, blonde hair right now,
boy, that joke landed like a dud. That went over like a turd in the punch bowl. He was expecting that to be raucous laughter, and everybody showed up there like, where is she? Hold on, you promised us she would be there. You promised us she would be there. Why are you on the screen? Why are you wearing black jeans rolled up, black boots, a blue blazer that doesn't match, an ill-fitting shirt without collar stays, and a coat that looks like you borrowed it from someone? That looks like honestly, it's the same coat JD Vance has on and the same lapel pin JD Vance is wearing. I think that's his backup coat in case he spilled coffee on Air Force 2. It's certainly not a coat you would ever wear with rolled up black jeans and black boots. And so he's probably written this out quickly. He hadn't had a chance to run it by anybody. But nevertheless, I'll let him continue with his bad jokes.
I'm going to address it right at the front. Mr. Vice President, I'm on stage here instead of our friend Erika Kirk. That's right. Because unfortunately, she has received some very serious threats in her direction, which is terrible. It's a terrible reflection on the state of reality.
Yeah, it is a terrible reflection on the state of reality because apparently it wasn't true. From a logical standpoint, it didn't make sense.
Correct. It's not true. It doesn't make sense. It's illogical. And Candace happened to go talk to the president of the University of Georgia TPUSA club, and she had this to say.
Chapter stepped down because she didn't want to stand behind Erika's lies.
When you walked in tonight, I was on the phone with actually the president of the University of Georgia, and she, and this is for the Turning Point USA chapter, and there had just been this situation where Erika wasn't going because the crowd size, and she said that was it. It was the crowd size. We told them that it wasn't going to be a big crowd. We were concerned the entire time. We had communicated this to them that people didn't want to go. Conservatives didn't want to go because they don't like Erika.
And she didn't show up. And we covered the planes. We showed that her plane was there. It was there on time. That she showed up, and that's when the vice president started circling his plane. Was he going to go back? Was he going to show up? To the vice president's credit, I'll give him props, and then I'll target him a little bit on this. He showed up, and he showed up with a very ill-prepared and underwhelmingly dressed Andrew Colvett. who looked ridiculous on stage dressed like that. I mean, he looked like a clown. He looked like a 15-year-old who just like was told he had to wear a coat somewhere. He's like, I don't have a coat. And someone was like, here, wear this. Okay. That's what he looked like on stage. He had a speech that obviously was not prepared. But he, hold on. Okay. He, at least he showed up, the vice president. He circled. It looked like his plane immediately started circling when she decided she wasn't going to be there. We showed you guys that. And it's at least giving him props that he showed up. Now that's the props. The targeting is, Mr. Vice President, you went along with the lie. You knew she was there. And you blamed us. And you let Andrew Colvette sit there and say that she wasn't there. And she was. And being her twin brother is not enough, Mr. Vice President. It's not enough. You guys going along with this is feeding into the problem. Now, the second lie. This is the one that I just can never get over. This is the one that I just absolutely can never, ever, ever get over. And Nissy brought a new angle to this that we have not covered on this program. It's when Erika met Charlie.
Next inconsistency that really bothers me is how her and Charlie ended up dating in the first place. And I think the reason this one bothers me so much is because it does appear that she's a honeypot.
Allegedly, that's ignorant.
Back in August of 2018, TPUSA opened their headquarters in Arizona, and despite living all the way in New York at the time, Erika Franzwey flew out to Arizona to be there. And actually, Candace Owens was there too. So she may have some more to add to the story, and I hope she does. But Erika says she was there at the grand opening of the new office for a job interview.
I met Erika for the first time at this office, Turning Point USA office.
So we met at the office opening, the Turning Point headquarters office opening, the first one, August 2018. And I had no idea what to expect because I was coming into the office from the standpoint of they were potentially going to hire me.
I mean,
I'm going to show you, she's going to show you, and we've talked about on this show before. I'm just recapping the many lies of the grieving widow. But that is such an obvious not truth. It's just such an obvious not truth. But anyway, I'll let her explain.
I do find it odd that at a grand opening, someone would be there for a job interview. Usually a grand opening is a time to celebrate and like nothing too formal happens at a grand opening, but that's what Erika says she was there to do. She said she expected to do a job interview when she showed up at this grand opening of the TPUSA headquarters in Arizona. But Erika also has said that she was just there because a family friend invited her.
I know how Erika and Charlie met. Do you want to know how they met? Okay, let's find out.
This is such an uncomfortable piece of video, guys. Oh my gosh. I almost didn't play this part. I almost just told you what it said. It is so hard to watch this. She is the worst actress on the planet. You ever watch a movie and everybody else is playing the role and you're getting into it, but every single time a particular actor or actress comes on the screen, you're like, oh man, it just zaps you out of the movie. All of a sudden you're sitting on your couch in your shorts and your ripped t-shirt, your Saturday shirt, got like paint flecks on your forearm from where you were touching up the bathroom drywall. I mean, it's just, that's what she does. She just zaps you out of the story.
So if you ask him, this is the typical husband-wife. Like the husband has a very Spark Notes version, condensed, and then the woman has the longer, more meandering version. So I'll try to blend the two.
Why don't you just tell us the truth for once? We don't need to blend. Just be honest. What happened? How did you meet? Like we don't need you to tell me that, oh, Charlie has one version, I have another. We know you have another version. That's the problem. That's why no one believes anything you say.
It was a while ago. I can't even keep track of dates anymore with babies and anniversary dates and everything else in between. So
I met my wife on October 8th, 1998. It's not hard to keep track of the date you meet someone. We met on October 8th, 1998. I remember precisely where I was. It's not, I don't remember the birthdays and anniversaries and the day we met.
A few moments later.
I timestamp things in my phone. When someone says something or I overhear something, I use my notes all the time. And I like to look back to see what time that was, what year that was. I save all that. Anyways, so we had met through a family friend. He had invited me to the office opening for Turning Point USA, which I know several of you guys are supporters of. So thank you for all of your support for Turning Point USA. And so I went to the office opening and he was like, you need to meet the CEO. And I was like, okay, great. I don't know. I was not familiar with that world at all. I'm standing in the office and our family friend was like, you need to meet the owner, blah, blah, blah. And he turns around and was like, oh, hi, you're the guy from the ticket line.
Okay. So in version 1, she was there for a job interview. Version 2, she was there at the request of a family friend. And the family friend just wanted her to meet the quote unquote owner of the nonprofit, however that is. So we've now have 2 versions. Believe it or not, there are more.
Oh, it was so coy that I was like, oh, nice to meet you. Like, I have to get back to New York, so I'll see you again soon, I think.
So a family friend invited her, and the family friend said, hey, why don't you come and meet the CEO? So who was going to be interviewing her then? I don't understand. Were you there for a job interview? Were you not there for a job interview? This family friend said, hey, why don't you come over and meet the CEO? Tyler Boyer said that he was the one that invited Erika to the grand opening.
After this,
This is a very important clip here. I want you to drill in on this because there is this prevailing narrative, I would say, that Erika has been peddling since Charlie passed away, that she met him at the grand opening and then did not see him again until he sent her a DM on Instagram. He slid into the DMs, as the kids would say. He slid in, sly Charlie though he is, and invited her to a date at Bill's Burgers. We've heard enough of Bill's Burgers. She talks about burgers a lot. I love my In-N-Out burger. We met at Bill's Burger. Anyway, I've never been to Bill's Burgers. If Erika Kirk knows one thing, it's burgers. I mean, I don't know a lot about it. She knows how to wear too much jewelry and eye makeup, and she knows burgers. Like, that's it. That's all I've learned about Erika Kirk in the last 7-8 months. But anyway, this is an important thing here because the prevailing narrative has always been that they met at the office grand opening and then did not meet again, did not see each other again until he randomly texted her and said, let's go to Bill's Burgers for a job interview. And that's where that sly dog Charlie said, I'm not going to hire you. I want to date you. The question that is raised here is, was there a date before Bill's Burgers? Did they go on a date before Bill's Burgers?
I'll pull it up. After this rally, I meet with Erika and I'm like, there's a way that we can, she's faith-based. So this is the funniest part. She's faith-based. She's so centered on Christ. We've got to lean in and involve her here because we were starting the initial talks about Turning Point Faith or TPUSA Faith. And I was trying to recruit her hard to come work for us. And so through all that, I'd introduced her to Charlie. I was like, I think she could be great. She could be wonderful. And Charlie was immediately in love, absolutely in love. And I was like, it was Charlie, going back. And that's where it's like the tee up with, the clothes, everything else. I was like, Charlie, I don't know. Like this
so he was trying to press her a little more.
This is Miss Arizona. So I was nervous. I'm like, I don't know if we don't want to scare her away, right? Like we don't have to work for us, so, but like, that's great. Let's feel out. And so Charlie did he did everything perfectly, as Charlie always does. Did everything perfectly. I dropped him off. He was at the office here, which he was rarely at the office because he was always on the plane. And he had set up a date to go meet her at the gym.
I'll be honest. I've been following this case. I've been looking. I did not know this clip existed. I had never heard this clip. After the grand opening, after the introduction at the grand opening, Charlie set up a date to go meet her at the gym. This is news. Nissy, props. This is a great find, Nissy. A great find. He set up a date with her at the gym. I'll let Tyler continue. It actually gets worse.
Because it's a fancier, nicer gym that's in the North Valley.
It's a fancy gym. They're not like doing CrossFit. They're not in some dusty box with cobwebs in the corner. It's a fancy gym. They're fancy people, or she's a fancy person. But they set up to a date in the North Valley to go meet at a gym. This is totally inconsistent with what we've been told from the beginning. This totally defeats their narrative that, oh, he slid into my DMs and he invited me to Bill's Burgers. I'll let him continue.
And I took him over, and I dropped him off there, and it was the whole car ride over that was pep talk. So, all right, this is what you got to do. This is what you got to say. Hey, if she says this, don't do that. And he's like, well, what do I do if it, like this? Because Charlie had a number of dates, but not that many people. He's busy. He's a busy guy. He just didn't. Yeah. And so it went immaculately. And after that, they met again in New York.
So
raise your, I mean, if you're not driving, like if you're driving, be safe, 10 and 2 guys. But those of you sitting at home, raise your hand if that was the first time you had heard that they actually had a date before the Bill's Burgers date, that they constantly tell people. Erika will constantly tell the story that he just slid into my DMs. He just asked me to go to Bill's Burger. It was totally about a job interview. And then all of the sudden, out of nowhere, this sly dog Chuck, Chuck, he's a sly actor. He's a smooth guy. I don't want to hire you. I want to date you. Like, that's the story they peddle. She's about to peddle it here. But the reality is that's not what Tyler Boyer just said. That's not at all what Tyler Boyer just said. He gave details. Oh, I gave him a pep talk. If she says this, you do this. Oh, it went immaculately, so they set up another date in New York. So it wasn't about a job interview at all? You guys have been lying from the beginning? You've lied the whole time? Or is Tyler Boyer, someone's lying. Tyler Boyer's lying, you're lying, somebody. Yeah, look at all these raised hands.
Erika says that a family friend invited her to the office for a grand opening. Tyler Boyer says that when they were at the office, he is the one that introduced Erika to Charlie. So does that mean that Tyler Boyer is the family friend?
That's a good question. She goes on to say that Tyler did not know when, or Erika says she doesn't know when she met Tyler. So I'm going to fast forward a little bit. I don't want to show you all of Nissy's video because it's excellent. I want you to go watch it, but I do want to show you one more clip here. This is about the pageants, and this is the most rock-solid lie I've ever seen Erika exposed on. And again, it goes to the foundation of her narrative that she's just this flying through life. Everything sort of comes her way. She's not cold. She's not calculating. She's just an honest actor. She's not one of those people. Oh, yeah, I did pageants, but I'm not a pageant girl. Oh, I did this, but I'm not one of those people. Watch. We've talked about this, but Nissy does a good job outlining it.
We'll call it, made by Erika, pertains to her entry into pageantry, her motivations for entering into pageantry, and how she felt about pageantry at the time that she was doing it. On more than one occasion, she has said that she wasn't into pageants, but she got a letter in the mail, and that led her to compete.
What got you into pageants?
Great question. I had got something in the mail and received it, I think it was 2009, I believe, or 2010. I had received something in the mail, and it was basically saying, you've been nominated to, come and be, compete for the pageant. And I looked at my mom and I was like, I play basketball. This is not something that I would ever really do. And my mom was like, just try it. It might be fun. Anyways, try it.
This is not something I would ever do. Keep in mind, ladies and gentlemen, at the time she's saying this, 2009, 2010, she had competed in 2 high school pageants, Miss USA pageant, Miss Junior USA, whatever pageants, winning one of them. She had competed in 2 Miss USA Colorado pageants. So that's 4. And she's saying, she's representing to this guy that at this time, after having done 4 pageants, this isn't something I would do. That's not me. I don't do pageants. What do you think, Mom? Like, that is the coldest, most calculated, diabolical, dishonest, misrepresented lie. Oh, Erika, why do you accuse her of being a liar? You say this so baselessly. Because I use her own words. She said she got something in the mail and that she would never do. She's done 4 by the time she quote unquote gets something in the mail.
The first time ended up getting first runner up, and then you get bit by that pageant bug, and then you're like, you know what, I'll do it again. And so I did it again, and I won.
That's not true. That is a documented lie. That is an absolute stone cold, easily documented lie. I did it once, I got runner up, I did it second time, and I won. There's not a single person who speaks English, even as a second or third language, who would misunderstand what she was trying to say there. Erika, you're dishonest. That's a lie. That's a lie. You guys have forfeited the right to come after us for saying she is a liar. I will state it, and it's not defamation. Erika Kirk is a liar. That is a lie. Period. End of story. It would be like me saying, I did a podcast last week. Never done one before. It's not me. I'm not a podcaster, I figured I would try it. Talk to my wife. And what do you think about, should I go into podcasting? Never broadcasted on the radio before. Didn't have a 7-year full-time radio career. Didn't fill in for 3 years before that. Didn't spend years doing podcasting leading up to last week. No. Just last week, I just decided, I ought to maybe should I try it? So I bought a microphone, a camera, some lights, soundboard, stream deck. Like I just, docking station, multiple computers, 5 monitors. I just decided to invest. It's not who I am, ladies and gentlemen. Not who I am. I'm not that kind of guy. But here I am in week 2 of podcasting. Seems to be going well, I might give it a shot again tomorrow on a members live with Dre from the Dre dossier. I don't know. We'll see what happens. You would look at me and say, you're a documented liar. All I have to do is pull up your YouTube page. I see hundreds of podcasts. I go and I can find your radio shows online there's hundreds of radio shows. It appears you've probably done 10 or 15,000, maybe 20,000 hours of live broadcasting in the last 10, 15 years or so. What are you talking about? How can you maintain this lie with a straight face? Let me tell you something. And I'm just being honest. Someone who can lie to you like this needs to repent. They have deep spiritual issues. Anyone who will go on a radio show when all someone has to do is Google your name and they can find your entire pageant history, and you will, with a straight face, be like, yeah, I only did 2 pageants. Yeah, I see 6. Did you say 2? Yeah, just 2. 2009 and 10. Yeah, I just won the second one I ever entered. Lucky me. You're a deeply dishonest human being. You can't get mad at me for saying you're a deeply dishonest human being because you're a deeply dishonest human being. I mean, there's no way around it. That's not me attacking a grieving widow. She wasn't even a grieving widow when she made that ludicrous point. She was just a dishonest, dumb girl who didn't understand how the internet works, apparently. All right, last one here. This is about the White House Correspondents' Dinner. This is topical in light of Candace's reporting last night and tonight.
That it's a mystery is insulting. This woman also said that the reason she went to the White House Correspondents' Dinner was for this reason.
Everyone is asking why I even went to the White House Correspondents' Dinner. And it was because many of the journalists in that room have attempted to dehumanize me. And I wanted to meet some of them face to face.
Now, I'm going to be honest. I had not watched this video since the day it came out. We all watched it. I'd covered it that night. I wore a black hat and a black hoodie like a lunatic. I forgot how poorly this came off until I watched this today. I watched this and I thought, oh, what is she doing? This was a pre-record. Somebody watched this. She finished and they were like, yep, we're going with it. This is the intonation we're looking for. This is the message we're trying to send. Angry Italian server moonlighting as an assassin in a Hollywood movie. Black hat, black shirt. That's what we're going for. We're moving this way. This is what we're trying to accomplish. I forgot how bad this was.
Quite frankly.
Flashback.
She carries light behind her eyes.
She just went to confront some reporters who had written some bad stories. I don't even know that there were actual reporters that wrote bad stories. I think the people that wrote bad stories about her are podcasters. If you come to my house, Erika, you can't play in the curtains. You can confront me, but I will not let you near my curtains. I'm going to be honest. Curtains cost a lot of money. I don't know if you've ever bought curtains. I'm not having you dance in my curtains. I'll yell at the dog when the dog gets near the curtains. We're not having it, Erika. We're not going to have it. There will be no curtain play. We're not into that in this house. We don't do curtains. No, you can sit on the couch. We'll talk on the couch. Stay out the curtains. Leave my curtains alone, lady. If you're going to confront me, leave the curtains out of it. I don't care I don't care how good you look in the curtains. I don't care how good you look in the curtains, girl. Leave the curtains alone. Stop touching the curtains. Stop touching the curtains. Now, here's lies that Nissy didn't even get to. There's several. You remember how she told everyone she played basketball for 2 years, forever? Played basketball for 2 years at Regent University. Then I transferred to Arizona State. Well, you appeared maybe to have enrolled in Pepperdine. I'm not sure what happened there. They owe you money. It's on the state of California website. You went to Loyola Marymount. It appears you went to some other community college or something at some point in time. Then you ended up at Arizona State University. But what we learned is she only played basketball for 1 year. She told everyone who would listen she played for 2 years. I'm not going to sit here and pull up all the time she said it. Trust me, it's out there. You're more than welcome to go look. This is more of a message to you people who keep telling me that I'm attacking Erika and saying that she's a liar when she is the most honest person since Abraham Lincoln. It's like Abraham Lincoln, George Washington, Erika Kirk. It's the Hall of Fame of honesty. Cherry trees, honest Abe, honest Erika. It's a documented lie. She also told everyone who would listen, she did it in interviews, she put it on her LinkedIn resume, that she graduated with honors, either magna or summa cum laude honors. That's not true. That's not true. We actually, it took us months, maybe. It definitely took weeks. Daisy, you were in here earlier, you're gone now, but I don't remember if it was weeks or months that Daisy had to ransack Arizona State University. They did not want to give up that program. They did not. It's like there was a hold on that program. Every time you called somebody and were like, hey, can I get the program from the spring 2012? They're like, no, you can't. We'll give you the winter 2012. No, I don't want the winter. I want the spring. No, we're not giving you the spring. She finally found some sympathetic employee who probably feels a lot like we do about Erika Kirk, who's like, sure, here, have it. Well, when you read the program, she didn't have honors. Tyler Boyer had honors. He was listed cum laude. Good for Tyler. Speaks Russian. Erika was not listed among those receiving honors. It appears to be a dishonesty. She also told everyone who would listen she graduated with a double major. That's come out of her mouth. It's been in writing. I've heard her say it. It's not true. Not true. She said she graduated with a double major in political science and international relations. They did not offer an international relations degree. Again, we had to go to Arizona State University. We had to ask for the course book, the program guide, the program directory. They listed every program they had. They do not have an international relations degree. They did not at the time she was there, and they did not, most importantly, for 5 or 10 years before or 5 or 10 years after. We looked at all of them. And so it's impossible. They did not, it's not a degree they offered. It's like you can't go to Arizona State University and say, I want to major in, classical literature from Russia in the 10th century. They'll be like, we don't offer that degree. Like, well, that's what I want to major in. Well, but that's not a degree we offer. Okay. Now, if you go tell someone I graduated from Arizona State University, you'll never believe it. Classical literature, classical Russian literature from the 10th century. So a very, very detailed degree. It was very difficult to get. You would be a liar. It'd be the same as telling people you graduated with a double major in international relations cum laude. It's just not true. Or summa cum laude or magna cum laude. None of it's true. Documented lies. She also had on her LinkedIn page that she had a doctorate from Liberty. I have confirmed that that's not true. I've spoken to people at Liberty. That's not true. She did not receive a doctorate from Liberty. It was like Christian leadership or something. It wasn't true. And then she said to one person, I think it was Sage Steele, she said she read the Bible for the first time cover to cover in 2016. And I believe that. I mean, everybody got a first time, right? You never forget your first time. Everybody remembers the first time they cracked open the word of the Lord and they read it cover to cover. The problem is she had already told someone else in a couple of different interviews that the first time she read the Bible cover to cover was 2008. They can't both be true. And it's not something you forget. Like, hey, I holed myself up in an apartment by myself and I read the Bible cover to cover in 2008. I read it, I think she said multiple times cover to cover. You wouldn't forget that. You wouldn't then turn to Sage Steele and say, oh, the first time I read it was 2016. Documented lie. Why am I going over the tedium? Because it's important to understand who we're dealing with when they tell you you're not allowed to criticize this woman. This is not, no one's criticizing her as a grieving widow. No one is saying, I'm glad your husband died. I'm glad you're hurting because your husband. I've never heard anyone say that. Well, no one credible. I'm criticizing her because that's like 8 or 10 documented lies, and they go to the heart of who she is. Her spiritual life, her pageant life, her basketball life. These are all things she just really says are foundational to her existence, and they're not true. Her academic life, how she met her husband. I mean, Erika, give me 5 facts that define you. I played basketball. Okay, you lied about it. I did pageants, and you lied about it. I met and married Charlie Kirk, and you lied about it. I got degrees from Arizona State, and you lied about them. I read the Bible cover to cover, and you lied about it. Like, the foundations of your life are not true, Erika. I didn't even get into the fact that she says she has this wildly successful nonprofit that she's never, ever filed a tax form on. And that means it's never raised or spent more than $50,000. That's not wildly successful. In fact, that's wildly unsuccessful. If you have a nonprofit that you opened in 2008 or something, 2007, whatever year they said they opened it, guys, it's 2026. It's 2026. Not only that, you say your wildly successful clothing company is underneath there, which means your clothing company's never made or spent over $50,000. Where's this wild success? That's your foundational story. Again, you lied about it. I'm not going after her for being a grieving widow. I'm going after her for being a deeply dishonest person on the foundational, fundamental aspects of her story. Who she is. Who are you? You are your story. It'd be like if I've been telling you I had 8 kids this whole time, I only had 2. What a weird thing to lie about. It's foundational to who I am. I'm a father of 8 kids. Soon to be a grandfather. I'm going to be a good one too. Watch out. All right, so this is who she is. This is who I've been talking about. And so I wake up this morning to find that an attack on me had been posted last night, and it was sort of going viral among the TPUSA set. And by viral, I mean like a couple of their losers had retweeted it. I'm going to show it to you. Just like I showed you the attack from Gary, I'm not afraid of what people say about me. I don't care. I know who I am. I'm confident in who I am. And so if somebody says something about me, if it's true, I'll tell you. If it's not, I'll tell you, but I don't care what they say. This is a woman named TLH6B6H. That's not a troll. That's not a troll at all with her 324 followers. Nevertheless, she writes, "What do you mean you had shut down your podcast and gone private shortly before Charlie's assassination?" I mean exactly that. In the few months leading up to Charlie's assassination, I had not podcasted. It was over the summer. Charlie got shot in September. Summers are particularly active for the Coleman family. I was spending time with my family, and I was not podcasting on Sunday nights. That means exactly what it says. What do you mean? What do you mean? What do you mean that you never watched one episode of Charlie's podcast? I had never watched a single episode of Charlie's podcast. I've never hidden from that fact. In fact, she quotes me from the very first episode of this Charlie Kirk series, where I openly admitted on the first episode that he wasn't my brand of Republican. I think you've probably figured out by now why that is. Charlie was notoriously a Zionist, a pro-Zionist Charlie. That was his brand. That was his reputation for years. I didn't want to tune in and listen to that night in and night out. Just what, I listen to a lot of podcasts, but there's a lot of them I don't. What do you mean that if someone had asked you a week prior to Charlie's death how you felt about him, you'd have said, you could take him or leave him. He wasn't a saint. He wasn't God. Well, I mean, he's not God. That's exactly what it means, that human beings are not gods. And that while walking around on the earth, I didn't find him particularly saintly because of his political positions. I didn't like that political position, and it seemed to be kind of dominant to who he was. Now I'm learning 8 months into this investigation that Charlie Kirk's organization had been taken over. I didn't know that at the time, guys. No, I'd never done a deep dive into TPUSA. I just lift my head up and hear him spouting, pro-Zionist nonsense. And I'm like, take them or leave them. I don't need them. I don't want to tune in and hear it. It's never been a political position I've been wild about. You spent the last 7 months making money off a man you openly admit you really didn't care about. Well, I didn't say I didn't care about him. I just said I didn't particularly like listening to him. But the making money off a man, people have done massively successful stories on JFK. They've done massively successful series on Karen Reed case, where they had millions and millions of viewers tune into every single podcast. You think they deeply cared about Karen Reed and who she was? And think they deeply, deeply cared? No. They had a high talent for being able to evaluate a criminal case and to investigate that criminal case. And people tuned in to hear what they had to say about it. You had shut down your podcast and gone private, but then Charlie's assassinated and suddenly you care? Yeah, I do. In fact, I did deeply care at that moment because I felt like I had an insight into maybe why he died, and it terrified me. And I wanted to draw attention to it. I'm shocked, frankly, more people don't care. Suddenly you become one of the loudest voices in the room. Oh, that's insane talent, lady. That's all that is. It's insane broadcasting talent. I can't help it that I'm insanely talented as a broadcaster. And people tune in to listen to insane talent. Candace is one of the finest broadcasters in a generation. Even her critics admit that. So a lot of people tune in. Why? She's wildly talented. So she naturally becomes one of the loudest voices in the room. You know who's not a talented broadcaster, who's not particularly good at their job? Blake Neff and Andrew Colvette. That's why they're averaging like 200 views at a show. They're not very good. If they were good, people would tune in and watch them. If they were talented, if they knew how to work a microphone, they don't. They don't. The truth is you saw an opportunity to capitalize on a man's death and you took it. Lady, I wasn't even monetized for like the first 20 episodes. But I was doing the shows. It had nothing to do with capitalizing on a man's death. It had to do with trying to figure out who shot Charlie or who killed Charlie Kirk, how and why. And I was becoming increasingly concerned that the people closest to him didn't seem to want to solve that problem. And so I stayed in the game to try to get that answer. Then you pushed wild conspiracies and attacked his widow for a man that, by your own words, you could take or leave. I don't even know what that means. I've not pushed any wild conspiracy theories. I've raised a lot of issues about who killed Charlie Kirk, how, and why. I've not pushed any of them. I've never been one to say. In fact, I don't like people who push particular angles. I don't like people who say, I know how he died. He died this way. And anyone who doesn't believe that is an insane lunatic. That's pushing a conspiracy theory. That's pushing a particular angle. You've never caught me doing that. I raise them. I listen. I highlight the people who are talking about it, the John Brays of the world, the other people, Blake Bednar's, all the hell he's taken lately. At least he had a take. Like, and you looked at it, you're like, yeah, what is he doing in his pocket over there? That's kind of weird. Does that mean I bought it? No. Does that mean I didn't buy it? No. It means I thought enough of it to think we need to let people see this and see what they think about it. That's not pushing wild conspiracy theories. And attacking the widow, I'm not attacking her as a widow. I'm attacking her as a deeply, fundamentally dishonest and broken person who has no business leading young people. She is a liar. Her history is lies. She lies and lies. And then when she's done lying, she lies again. And that's what I'm attacking. That's it. It's fine. And you know what? The honest answer is if someone disagrees with me, just say, hey, Baron, have you considered the following? That maybe this is why she said that? Okay. You piled on and encouraged attacks against Erika. No, I don't think I encouraged attacks against Erika. I do find that she has struggles with the truth from time to time. I don't know that I've ever been like, go get her, guys. You demanded alibis for accusations you created on thin air. No. I've never created any accusation. And as far as demanding alibis, I think if she's going to offer an alibi and then the alibi crumbles, she should follow through. Like either don't offer the alibi or offer it and follow through with it. While at the same time saying Tyler Robinson doesn't have to prove anything. Yeah, because he's a criminal defendant. That's the nature of the game. That's the American legal system. Like all you're doing is pointing out obvious facts. A person who attempts to establish an alibi, if that alibi falls apart, they should come through with an actual alibi. Otherwise, they look really bad, like they tried to peddle a false alibi. I mean, that's criminal investigation 101. Where were you Thursday night? I was at Taco Bell. Well, okay, you go pull the Taco Bell footage. There's no, that person's not there. And then you go back to him, you say, oh, hey, we pulled all the Taco Bell footage. We didn't see you walk in. What time were you there? I don't have to establish an alibi. Why are you trying to tell me to establish an alibi? I don't want, because you tried to. You obviously thought you needed to. And the burden of the prosecution is to prove the case. Yeah, the burden is on the prosecution to prove the case against a criminal defendant in the United States. Yes, you've correctly identified criminal procedure. Good job. Well done, detective. What's her name? TLHB6HBY to the third MOUSE. So which is it? It's exactly that, lady. You've identified how the American legal system works. Congratulations. Because according to you, Tyler deserves the presumption of innocence, but Erika has to prove hers to the internet mob you helped create. If Erika wants the presumption of innocence, guess what? She can assert her Fifth Amendment rights. She can stop talking. If she wants the presumption of innocence, she can stop trying to establish alibis. But she's already started that process. You weaponized speculation, outrage, and social media for clicks. No, I didn't do it for clicks. I actually had this conversation with somebody today. I don't even look at the numbers from the previous night's show. Like, I was talking to somebody, and they were like, I remember who I was talking to. I'm not going to say who I was talking to, but I was talking to somebody today, and this issue came up, and I was like, I don't even look. Like, I do the show, I turn the show off, and life goes on. You turned a tragedy into entertainment. Well, that's because I'm entertaining. I can't help that. I'm naturally entertaining. It's infectious. You ought to try it. If you were entertaining, you wouldn't sound like this. You helped spread harassment and suspicion towards a grieving widow. while pretending to stand for truth and justice. Yeah, because sometimes grieving widows are guilty. And truth and justice means you got to look at them. But you could take him or leave him, right? You're a reprobate, Baron Coleman. I like the way she used my first and last name there. I'm going to be honest with you. It kind of got me. So I did respond. And I responded this way, which is a perfectly rational, reasonable explanation. Because TPUSA employees, even the ones that the other people make fun of behind their backs, were retweeting this. And I said that TPUSA employees are retweeting this and think this is some sort of sick burn and a winning point. Tells me just how out of touch they are with reality. I actually appreciate this troll, if that is her real name, for clipping this and nicely archiving an important part of the development of my investigation into who killed Charlie Kirk, how, and why. That some washed up former radio host, that's me, your humble host, and small podcaster would accumulate tens of millions of views investigating what happened to Charlie Kirk speaks volumes about the importance of the investigation TPUSA employees desperately want to bury. And that is a fact. The fact that people watch desperately, something that they're desperately trying to bury, the fact that lots of people tune in to watch, not just this show, but many other quality shows, it shows that this is an important investigation. This is especially true when you consider TPUSA staff, including the ones who retweeted this, appear to show zero concern with finding out who killed Charlie Kirk, how, and why. You know who has the least amount of concern I've ever encountered? It's those closest to Charlie Kirk. Those are the people. It's like they don't want to know. No, don't investigate. We don't want to look into anything else. We've got a guy. The police said he did it. Let's just be done with it. They dismiss every person trying to find out the answers to those questions as evil or motivated by greed. It never dawns on them that people want to know those answers. They seem mystified by people want to know those answers. They try in vain to stifle anyone trying to find those answers. And this is my story. I came to this as a concerned American citizen who doesn't want public figures assassinated in broad daylight, even if they're not my favorite podcasters, even if I don't tune into them on a daily basis. If I see a major American political figure get assassinated in broad daylight, I don't want to see that. And I'm going to investigate. And to the extent it looks shady and like a cover-up, I'm going to continue to investigate. I actually sent my research to several established podcasters to see if they do the story, and I only decided to do it myself when they didn't respond to my emails, meaning I wasn't in this for the clicks. I wasn't in this for the money. I was trying to give away the research. I was like a lot of you who fill up my email inbox with, have you considered this? Have you considered this? You should look at this. You should check this out. I did it to them. I've been in your shoes. So yes, I want to run down every lead. I want to turn over every stone and ask every question that could lead to an answer. How much more should Charlie Kirk's former employees and supposed friends want the same? And for some weird reason, those closest to Charlie, including TPUSA employees, have no interest in doing the same. And it's terrifying and it's telling. I'm sorry, it's telling. You want to know why this investigation persists? Because you guys aren't looking at any angle of who could possibly be involved. I'm sorry, they just don't. It's true, and it's obvious to everyone that it's true. They'd rather slander and label as evil those pursuing what they should be pursuing. So by all means, keep clipping my videos. I'm proud of every word I've ever spoken. I'm using a little poetic license here. I'm proud of every word in them. Of course, I deny your baseless allegations, but you know they're baseless. The reason you gish gallop so many of them in there is so they can't be refuted individually, so I'll deny them all as a whole. But thank you. Genuinely, thank you for taking the time to point out that some people actually still care who killed Charlie Kirk, how, and why. And thank you dearly for contrasting so starkly with those at TPUSA who do not. I don't know any other way to address these people. I am so sick and tired of these people. The level of attacks they're employing are actually insane. They're actually insane. To believe them, well, yeah, okay. I don't normally pull up comments, but this is a good one. I'm not proud of the snort. I'm not proud of that. I'm not proud of that at all. YouTube did me dirty there. I normally don't pull up comments in the middle of the show, but golly, you got me there. Not proud of that one at all. No. But I'm thankful for this attack. I'm so tired of these attacks, but I'm actually thankful for this one. I highlighted it. And the fact that how old is Alex Clark? Let me look at something. How old is she? Is she 41 years old? Oh, 33 years old. Sorry. I almost said something really ugly. I'm not going to say it. But the fact that some fraudulent trad e-girl, and that's fraudulent if she's 33. The fact that some 33-year-old fraudulent trad e-girl is going to retweet that, Alex Clark, and act like that's some sort of a dig, that is the lowest IQ take, Alex, I've ever heard. That is so low IQ that you think that was going to get me. Oh, we got him now. Oh, no, girl. No, girl. All you did was highlight the problem. The problem is you guys don't care who killed Charlie Kirk, how, and why. And it's weird. It's really, really weird. It's becoming almost criminal. It's almost criminal the way you guys are attacking us. Do you know there is a paid... The attacks are coming from everywhere. Absolutely everywhere. But that's okay. That means we're on the right track. It means we're doing the right thing. I appreciate you guys letting me vent at some of these people. Gary last night in this alphabet soup of a person today. What TLH6B6BH, whatever that means. How do you even remember that to log in? I would never be able to log into X ever again. I'm like, well, I guess I'm off X. If I ever got logged out, I would be off X if that was my username. They would never be able to get me ever again. 324 followers, and TPUSA just happens to find it and just happens to amplify it. Oh, yeah. I'm sure that's really Miss TBL65439MO475. I'm sure that's exactly who that is. Exactly who that is. All right, guys, hit the like button if you like. I don't want to force you to do anything you don't want to do. Go ahead and hit the like button. If you are not a subscriber, I will say this. As our subscriber numbers continue to rise, we've passed, I think, 301,000 now. As it continues to rise, we are slowly exiting the category of one of the only shows that gets more views than has subscribers. We still hit that most days. But if the more subscribers we get, we won't be able to make that claim. So go ahead and hit the subscriber button, because frankly, it's a little embarrassing that I get to make that claim. And so hit the subscribe button if you're not already. Click the notifications, and you'll be off to the races. If you are a member, mañana, I'm very much looking forward to this. Audrey Henson from the Dre dossier, she will be here tomorrow. Not here. But on your screen. She'll be here tomorrow for a member show. Typically, my members shows have been people I know, or except for the one person that I didn't know that the show turned into a total disaster. But most of the member shows are people I know, I'm on good terms with, talk to quite a bit. This will be the first really members interview of somebody I've never talked to. I've never heard her voice other than on YouTube. Texted a few times just to set up the show. So I'm very much looking forward to this. So, if you're not a member, it would be a fun one to get into. She's an excellent researcher. She's dug deep into the data centers, what's going on at the White House. She is like an Oracle and Larry Ellison. I don't even know what I would call her. Probably the world's foremost expert on those people. So be sure to be there. If you're qualified, if you're a member, be sure to be there. We're going to have some fun. But let me get through some of your comments tonight before the night gets too far away from us. Christ is king indeed. I have a hard time keeping up with every detail of the case, but it feels like the Fed sloppers are freaking out right now. Go Max. P.S. You should do the age group online semifinals workouts. I didn't qualify. Well, I'm way out of shape this year. Way too much podcasting, not enough working out. But I did do a cool one this morning. It took me way too long. It was 10-1, dumbbell bench press, double 50s, single 50 goblet squat, and burpees over the bench. 2-foot takeoff required. It was gross. Hey, and I'll be honest with you, Tom, since you know what you're talking about. I failed the set of 1 dumbbell bench press. That's how tired I was at the end. I failed the set of 1. I had to like sit up, collect myself, and pump out that last one. It was that bad. But yeah, I probably won't do them. I probably won't do them. FYI, sent the trademark docs to your emails. Couldn't find alleged court. Yet no one can. That's the point. I knew what you were going to send because I've seen what you sent. I assume what you've sent me is showing that there's a probate case open and it's sealed. I don't even have to look at my email. I know exactly what you sent. And that there are some trademarks that she filed shortly after Charlie died. That doesn't prove that there's a dispute and that the parents are involved. That's what I'm looking for because that's what people are saying. It's beyond dispute that she filed trademarks in Charlie's name. That exists. It's beyond dispute they opened a probate case. I'm sure he had a very complex estate. Probably needs to be probated. Not every estate needs to be probated, but his probably did. So it doesn't shock me that it's open. It doesn't shock me that it's sealed. He's a man of very high public interest. Why wouldn't people be nosy and get online and start looking around? Then they know about her assets. They know where her kids are. I get it being sealed. But people are going one step further and they're claiming there's some battle with Charlie's parents and there's no evidence of it other than people saying it. And people keep saying it. So TPUSA Fed Sloppers, understand I'm here protecting against this type of misinformation. I was on X today telling people stop saying Tyler Robinson's related to Nick Shirley. It's not true. It's not true. Stop saying it. Everyone is stating it as fact. Your humble host is protecting you guys against misinformation. I promise you I didn't know this was coming up. They are not half cousins. They're not related. If they are, then there's no evidence of it. Price is always king. It does not go deeper. I mean, it might, but doesn't go deeper on that issue. They are not related. So let's just put that to bed. Let's stop talking about it. It makes our side look bad when we run with stuff that's not proven. I'm not getting on to you. I mean, a lot of people are saying it. I don't blame you for reading it and believing it. It's just not true. People should stop saying it. I'm using my freebie to say congratulations on being a grandparent. I have 6 wonderful grandbabies so far. What will you be called? I chose grandma. My hubby chose pop. I'm going to be granddad. Mrs. Coleman's going to be grandma. Grandma and granddad, you can't beat that. That's classic. I'm a classic guy. Let's see if we can beat last video. 57,000 on the live. 15,000 likes at the same. There was now 57,000 on the live. Maybe total over the course of it. They were not on live at once, I can assure you. I think we capped at like 23 last night. 15,000 likes at the same time. And the only reason I know that is because I have a counter that shows up on my screen. At the same time, 15,000 in the chat, killing it as usual. Baron, been with you since 3,100 subs. Well, you've been around a long time. Sorry about the soaps stinking up your space, Granddad. That must be you, Janice. I sure hope the women folk of the home are enjoying them. You're adorable. LOL, your number 1 fan from Oklahoma. Yeah, I'm sure they smell good for people who like smells. I'm not a smell person. I'm sensitive. Now, I will say this. I was sick the last 2 days. I felt great today. Felt great. Your prayers worked. The I-MEC-10 mixed with black seed oil, mixed with vitamin C, vitamin 3, K2. What's the other thing I took? Took one more thing. Little bright yellow pill. Quercetin. All that mixed together, I feel like $1 million. Took it again today just to be safe. Why'd DJT take all those people to China with him? And was it really Miriam A that was directing the handshaking between Z and the entourage? I don't think so. I don't know that. I've not heard that. The second part. Why did he take all those people with him? Because apparently we like China now. I've like been avoiding Chinese products like the plague for the last 10 years. In fact, I had a blender that broke that was from China in the summer of 2016. That's when I decided to vote for Trump. I was so mad about the broken blender. I was like, I'm sick of the Chinese crap. Trump is right. We're done with China. I will walk all over a store I don't buy, I try to avoid clothes there. I mean, sometimes you have to, but I try to avoid stuff. And now he's like sucking up to China. I'm like, hey, has he turned on every issue he ever held? Is he still the same Trump on anything? Maybe the border, I guess. No, we're not deporting people, but he's at least shut it down. I keep expecting to see belly dancers pop up on the screen with your intro music. Great tune. We won't have any of that, sir. Not this kind of a place. Paramount. Oh, I'm not going to say that. Impractical is so dumb. It's almost funny. Christ is king indeed. It's not funny. We don't laugh at mentally handicapped people. It's not funny. It's a sickness. It's like a disease. And I feel bad for him. It'd be hard to go through life that way. Like, can you order food at a drive-through? Can you check text? I mean, it's gotta be tough. Obviously, he has trouble with basic technology. I mean, he shares stuff he's not supposed to share. I feel bad for him. We need to pray for him. I'm on Soup, the I Word, and Braun. Pray for recovery. Oh yeah, the I Word. That I credit that. Every time I get a cold, I take it. It goes away. So I kind of a fan. Feels like a belly dancing snake are going to pop out with the music. Does that sound foreign to you guys? Yo, Big B, excellent title today. Go Max, Christ is king indeed. Yes, Raging Stormclad, I stole that from you. I figured you'd like that. But Baron, I am one of those Southern Baptists that misses the live on Wednesdays, but as soon as I go home, it is Baron time. Congrats on 300,000. Love RBP and this community. Yeah, I tell people Wednesdays are slow because of the Baptists. I can't help it. What is a wickle? Fell asleep listening last night. Woke up to Mississippi pot roast, wickle dipping, movies, and naked. Yeah, that's a party. You get all that, you've had a party. A wickle's a type of pickle. It's a little sweet, a little hot. It's amazing. I don't even know where they make them. I thought they were available. Let me look. Where are wickles made? Birmingham, Alabama. Roots trace back to Dadeville, Alabama. Historically opened a manufacturing facility in Brundage, Alabama. That's outside of Troy for you non-Alabamians. Well, I didn't know all that. Maybe that's why, having lived in Alabama, maybe that's why I'm so familiar with wickles, but this was the greatest pickle it ever made. It's amazing. Absolutely amazing. It's not a paid product endorsement. I just like them. I had one today. Actually, I had pickled okra today. A wickles pickled okra. Hey, man, just a quick reminder. The Dow is now back above 50,000, so we're no longer permitted to discuss the Einstein files. I noticed that myself. Please keep that in mind for future shows. Thanks for everything you do. Christ is king indeed. Yes, but Bondi is no longer around. I don't know if the rule holds true anymore. So happy I found your high IQ podcast and community. I'm so happy I found your comment. Hello to this beautiful community, indeed. But Baron, first time super chatter here. What are your thoughts on the Candace and Elizabeth Lane interview? No idea that EK was CK's first. I was aware of that. Blindsided by that cookie. No, and that's amazing. It should be that way for everybody. That's not that. Nobody should look at Charlie and say that's a bad thing. That was a good thing. But that's the only clip. Honestly, that's the only clip I've seen of it. It came out today, and I haven't had a chance to watch it because I was prepping for the show. I'll watch it tonight. What time am I getting it off? I might watch it tomorrow. Getting a haircut tomorrow. Well, next time you see me, I'll be smooth looking. All this stuff here, this is all going to be gone, ladies and gentlemen. No, not all of it. A lot of it. My B. Do you think Miss Tilly is going to be overly protective of baby B when she arrives? Maybe. I don't know. Tilly's been around kids her whole life, though. Kid's nothing to her. She doesn't even know what a kid is. Hello from Bucks County again. My husband and I think nightshirts are overrated, hence our 8 wonderful gifts. Oh, gosh. TMI. Congrats on 300,000. Question: why is the administration so concerned about EK's image? Thoughts? God bless. Christ is king indeed. She might be a military asset, might be an intelligence asset, and they have invested mightily in her success over the years. Just a suggestion. I don't know if that's true or not. I really don't know. But it seems like they are. First super chat ever. Love your show. It's the perfect blend of education and entertainment. But for the love of all things holy, please do not subject us to Allie Beth Stuffy ever again. I shouldn't have to. I mean, as long as she behaves, I won't. She gets out of line, though. I've been following you since October 2025. You and your shows helped me tremendously over these 7 months. Thank you. Thank you. Your comment helps me. Baron, you the man. We have a son who's about to head off to college. We would always talk about the latest CK Takes news. Needless to say, our family was devastated. Thank you for what you do. Christ is king indeed. Yes, Christ is king indeed. Thank you. And good luck to your son. He's leaving in the summer? Or he's just heading out in the fall? I guess people can start this. And so glad to be part of such a high IQ community. We appreciate all you do. You went max as always. Christ is king indeed. Always. Turn out the next big pandemic is Loomer virus. Nefer, right, handy. I don't think we can call him handy. Might be too close to home. Gare, eyebrows, Captain Kirk. I mean, Dr. Kirk. The Gramster, and you can't talk about those ugly words, Kitty. All caught it. Who's Kitty? I don't even know who that is. Yes, Miss Cato, you're right. They've all caught the virus. I hope you're feeling better. I am. Today's better. I'm not 100%, but I feel a lot better. It's very easy to DIY oregano oil. I swear by the DIY fire cider to stay healthy. I make a batch yearly. I'm new here and love the show. God bless you and the family. Christ is king indeed. I used to have a friend that made me some fire cider, and she has moved. So I no longer get any fire cider. There's a Stargate School 30-minute drive to Aurora movie theater. EK said she had a friend at the shooting. Maybe EK classmate or teacher was at Aurora. It's a good question. I don't know. Keep preaching truth and inspiring our community. I never miss a show since finding your high IQ show. Christ is king indeed. A sincerely appreciative and humble fan. I'm going to do my best. Thank you for that. Go Max just finished reading a book called Lincoln, Marx, and the GOP. It's an intriguing title, admittedly. Tell them. I do tell them, Baron. They allowing talking freely on this platform? I don't know. Why are they allowing talking freely? I don't know. Why wouldn't they? Talking about YouTube? I don't know what you're trying to say. Over, under 33. How many times do you think Gary blinked when CO Torrendo did? Please thank my mom, Lynn, and stepdad, Peter, for supporting me in my recovery from alcohol. 108 days so far. Jimmy, congratulations. Christ is king indeed. Congratulations. More than 33. He probably blinked for 15 minutes. He's probably still blinking. Excuse me, just learning how to read English. Oh, that's okay, Julie. Please pray for hubby and me. 26, military, divorce. I will indeed. That's in 3 words, man. You covered a lot of territory there. Certainly will pray for you, Jillian Rose Thomas. But Baron, now that Tilly's famous, my wife would love to paint a pet portrait for you and your family. Could I email you for a pic request? Thanks for all you do. Been watching since November. You can email one, sure. I have to find a good picture of old Tilber. Tilber. That's what I call her. Tilber. My dad had NDE. Near-death experience. Electrocuted 19,000 volts, fell 45 feet, met Jesus. Had a huge impact on my faith as a kid. If you want details, I can email. If not, no worries. You're a busy man. I wish I could make YouTube interview for him. Love you, B. Christ is king. I mean, you can, if he's still alive. Just film it and put it on YouTube. It doesn't have to be fancy. Do it with your phone. Set your phone up. You guys stand in front of it and talk. Trust me, near-death experiences, people watch them. Total Eclipse of the Heart was written by Jim Steinman, the genius who penned Meatloaf's Bat Out of Hell album. 70s teenager here. Fellow IU Hoosier too. Love your work. First super chat. Crisis King, indeed. You never know what's going to bring people out for their first time. And apparently it was Bonnie Tyler brought him out. Just brought him right out of the woodwork. He couldn't resist. He was like, oh, Bonnie Tyler, I'm coming. John Mappin, Scientologist, Candace Friend, sketchy. I don't find him sketchy at all. I think he seems very grounded to me. Buying new merch for my Saturday birthday since it doesn't look like Fauci is going to suffer the same fate as advisor Morin anytime soon. Good morning. Christ is King indeed. I forgot to announce we have new merch up. You're going to have to click view all. I'll show you. We have new merch. Nurse Casey's been working hard on this. Oh, these are great. Let me pull your comment down so we can see the whole thing here. Let's see here. Share screen. That one. So we got some new merch. We have a Curious Mind shirt here with a crow on the microphone in multiple colors. We have Baronisms with all these different sayings on here, including "Don't tell me how to live my life, fatso." And then some of the older shirts. So let me go to the view all here. You can see Befuddled by Daffodils. Got that one going. There's a Christ is King indeed. Get a Daisy. These are great. Oh, intellectually honest, philosophically consistent there. There you go. So, we got the on-air sign. That's always a good one. So we got some good stuff. Nurse Casey's been working hard out there, guys. Been working hard. Go check out the new merch, realbaronpodcast.com. realbaronpodcast.com. Okay. Okay, yeah. I didn't know where I was. There we go. King B, congratulations on 300,000. Haven't missed a show since Google Trends. Hope you don't mind my request for an opening statement on the Board of Peace. I believe it can hold relevance in the CK case. Going Max, Christ is King indeed. Tornado Alley, I would never mind a suggestion about a potential opening statement. I've done a few opening statements based on suggestions. Judge Graff appointed 9/4/25 by Cox. Suspicious? Maybe a little. Brandon, I know you saw Candace do the bird hand. You've ruined me. Seriously, the Big Bang is proving we are living in a manufactured reality. Why? I saw it. I don't think she intended to do it. I don't think it's something she's ever done before. I don't think it's something she'll ever do. It was a mistake. She didn't mean it. I'll talk to her about it. Change the topic. How about them Bravos? Also, RIP number 6, Bobby Cox and Ted Turner. Yeah, it's my suggestion, since Bobby Cox is pretty roundly considered one of the most popular baseball managers of all time, they should retire number 6 from baseball forever, like they did with number 42 for Jackie Robinson. I think they should retire number 6. Bobby Cox is a GOAT. And the Braves are killing it. Absolutely killing it. I have to thank God, the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit for blessing Candace, who opened the case for Charlie, and for blessing you, Baron, who is advocating for the cause. Thank you. Very kind of you. Erika's chonky finger writes in. I try to keep a straight face. Baron, just wanted you to know yours is my favorite show. Also wanted to tell you I was raised Baptist, left home, and accidentally joined a demonic cult. Rhymes with Ziontology. And escaped. Came back to our Lord Jesus Christ, and because of you, starting OCIA in a couple of weeks. What a wonderful story. Thank you. Thank you for sharing. I appreciate that chonky finger. A little chonky, for being honest. Meaning they're pushing for mistrial. We know this is happening. What will his defense do about it? It's so different for me to hear Pep trash him cluelessly, or worse, people, or worse, know nothing of this case. That's probably the worst part, is people don't know anything about the case, and they're like, oh yeah, he's guilty. Tyler Robinson's guilty. No, you know nothing about the case. I'm going through rough times. Tomorrow I have suppression hearing and possibly trial Monday. supposed speeding and reckless driving, no dash or body cam, cops' eyes, crooked county, please chat prayers. Yeah, I'll pray for you. That's a tough one. You know how you defend against something like that. I'm assuming it's a bench trial. That's tough. Defense attorney here. TR's defense attorney needs to learn to stop saying after each sentence. It undermines her effectiveness and impact of her words. She must not watch herself. My profs in law school preached on it. I don't know that it matters at this stage. I mean, I took all the trial ad classes too. I mean, and I went to trial school after I graduated law school, and I was already practicing. You're like, hey, I want to get better at this. So you go enroll in a trial school and do a week intensive or a couple weeks somewhere. I did all that. They're fun, and they teach you all the little tricks, and some of them are pretty good. As someone who says a lot, I don't know. Jesus said it first and best, Matthew 12, 25 and 26. And on top of that, we are exhorted to be not deceived. Love you, Baron and friends. Love you more, Constance Bailey. Ivan. Hey, Gary, pick up the soap off the... I don't even know if I can read the rest of it. You oversized, low IQ individual. To be fair, Coach is correctly identified. He's a descendant of a Kandahar giant. That's tough. Oh, yeah, after my initial excitement over the title. LOL. Congrats, Big B, on reaching 300,000 subs. What an amazing milestone. Now time to gift a sub. That would be very kind. Thank you. Speaking of being right, the Shabbat Shalom book was not finished in June or July. Like Dr. Erika said to Megyn Kelly, was it even finished before CK? Zach C. covered it on May 12. Timestamp minute 41. I watched that show. You don't have to tell me. I saw it live. And yes, it matters. It does matter. I agree with you. It matters. And there's the gifted membership from Raging Stormcloud. Thank you, Joey. Hey, Baron, very excited today as the merch I purchased is out for delivery all the way to Queensland, Australia, allegedly. It's a long way from home. Big B, man, Big B man. You guys coming up with new nicknames every week. For Mother's Day, my husband bought me a mug, stainless steel cup, RBP hoodie, and maroon Baronism shirt, patiently waiting for the Hold Please car sticker to drop. Much love from Hyde, North Carolina. Christ is king indeed. We're working on getting the merch out as quickly as we can, I promise. There's some kid stuff coming, I think, in the next couple of weeks. They're working on that now. Both true, 625 wash plus 10-ish, Utah, different jurisdictions. No. He was, in my opinion, allegedly, he was Mirandized in Washington County at 6:25 p.m. At 10-ish, he was picked up by Brian Davis and then transported back to Utah County, where he was brought in at 1:58 a.m. and then officially booked at 4 a.m. or officially arrested maybe at 4 a.m., whatever. But yeah, that's the timeline there, as I see it. When TR texted, I'm going to be late, my B, I think that was short for my bad. Oh, I've been told that you guys think that, but it's so much more fun to say my B, as in it's his bad. He messed up the return time, almost like it was pre-discussed or planned. I agree with that. But I also agree it's more fun to say my B, because that's fun. The Fugitive. Sorry, late to the show. The one-handed guy about the movie about the one-handed guy. Mountain of evidence, mama. You're not allowed to say that. Lord help anyone who tries to get one over on Baron or Canaan. No, you can't. You cannot. You will not happen. Our humble host holds a halo of hope, allegedly. If you still long enough, it hangs right over your head. Thank you. And thank you. Hold on. Edge. Sorry. I didn't see who wrote it till I clicked off on it. Baron, I just laughed out loud. That turd in the punch bowl line was the most Indiana Midwest thing I've ever heard. Yes. It's as Indiana as a one of those fried pork sandwiches. Baron, you discount the occult but acknowledge evil. When did I discount the occult? No, sir. No, sir. Many of the spiritual community have spoken with CK on another plane. Oh, do I discount it? Oh, I don't discount it. I think they're talking to demons. I've spoken with CK on another plane, and one mentions EK with him. The EK we see today is a clone like Jim Carrey. I'm going to discount all of that, and I'm going to tell you that these mediums are talking to demons. That's all that's happening. They're either making it up or talking to demons. Concerned they'll use AI video to create lost footage as newly found of TR turning himself in at later time on 9/11 or even 9/12. The AI company CEO mentioned they can create AI voice and video. Christ is king indeed. I'll say this. I got on that website she mentioned, and they had one of my all-time favorite broadcasters, perhaps my all-time favorite broadcaster, a guy named Skip Carey. When she mentioned him on the show, that's why I got on the website. I was like, oh my gosh, they did a Skip Carey thing? It's not even close. They should be embarrassed for putting that Skip Carey impersonation or AI recreation on the internet. They should be embarrassed. They should be ashamed of themselves. That's the worst Skip Carey I've ever heard. I'd do a better Skip Carey.
Chipper Jones coming up to the plate.
I mean, it was hideous. Sounded nothing like Skip Carey. And that right then I thought, well, that's not the company who did the Charlie Kirk, because it even kind of sounded like him. That does sound nothing like Skip Carey. It's devastating. I would play it, but I don't want to embarrass him. In the spirit of Charlie, prove us wrong to all those trying to cover things up and sow seeds of doubt. What's done in the dark will come to the light. Keep exposing them, Baron. Christ is king indeed. Thank you. First off, I love the show, and I love your comment. You know what's funny? 12:23 p.m., 9:10 to 6:25 p.m., 9/11 is 30 hours, 2 minutes. I'm sure you're right. If you are, Cash made up the 33-hour remark, but 33 hours would still be on 9/11, so you're right either way. Yeah, but 33 hours would allow him to write the Discord message, and that's what's being disputed. Could he possibly have written it? Ivan, Andrew, you should have going to Aloe? Oh, you're talking about the store where Erika's team bought a bunch of clothes the next morning? County AEX explosion recently granted new jail and department facilities. Sheriff is Davis 2. Most victims equal no digital footprint. Services strange. Funeral home sus. I'll look into it. Any legal requirement for cops to take CK's phone? No, not really. I mean, maybe it's good practice, but no, I don't think there's a requirement. Erika's literally Hillary in her hot sauce 24/7. Great Boise Jet guy. Great analogy. That's exactly what she is. You guys remember Hillary Clinton showed up on a black morning show or whatever? And she was like, yeah, I always carry my Tabasco with me everywhere. You know, I'm just like one of you guys. I make everything spicy. It was like endearing and racist at the same time. It was like endearingly racist. Like, yeah, you guys all like hot sauce. I know. And then they're all like, yeah, but I mean, we kind of actually. So they kind of felt like it was a compliment, but at the same time, they're like, but is she allowed to say that? An old white woman from Arkansas, is she allowed to say that? I know she's not from Arkansas, but you get my point. Your timeline on CK was so impactful, it made my spirit unsettled. You're doing amazing work. It unsettled my spirit putting it together, actually. Reading it. Please invite Nissy on your show live. She's a joyous genius. Y'all are both amazing. Stay tuned. Stay tuned. Charlie himself was the job at the grand opening. Ooh. Gives new meaning to job interview, doesn't it? That's dark. I am a 1-month grieving widow. I've tried to make sure what he wanted to get done does. Yet EK has done the complete opposite of what CK wanted. And no grief, just dark, lying eyes. Oh my gosh. Widows hate her. I've yet to find a widow who's like, yep, that looks perfectly normal. And I'm sure they exist, but I haven't come across them. Every widow I've encountered talking about Erika Kirk is trashing her. Everyone I almost said to a man, but I mean to a woman. I believe Tyler turned himself in Washington County way before 8 p.m. Utah time. You and I are in alignment on that. Again, might be wrong, but I think I'm right. War Thunder equals PC game for people who love military vehicles. Google vehicle blueprint leaks. It's a wild number. Hope you have enjoyed IMA, Carmageddon, A Good Citizen. Enjoy the show. Heaps and receipts. Thank you. I don't know what's up with this IMA. Why is this everybody pushing this all of a sudden? I might be nuts, but I swear pre-September 10th, Erika, and post-September 10, Erika look like two different people. I guess selling your soul takes a toll. Now, I will say that when I see pictures or videos of her, and Jesse's made a big deal out of this on his show, Jesse on Fire. When I see pictures or video of her from before that day, she is in my opinion, a completely different person. Even looks different. Not like different, like when Joe Biden came out and he was, 6'5" and left-handed, but it's different. Just different. It just looked different. Candace said Charlie planned to use Erika to make other girl jealous. Elizabeth Lane's show. I'll watch it. I can't comment on it because I haven't seen it, but I'll watch it. The advertisement for America Fest used to say, go meet your wife, like I met my wife, Erika. At the gym? The grand opening of your multi-million-dollar nonprofit? We remember when you met your wife. EK can never remember. Yeah, October 8th. Auburn, Alabama. Sitting on the steps outside my apartment. She was out there reading a book called Zen Flesh, Zen Bones. I walked outside to, I shouldn't admit this, get a little hit off of Winston Light. And we just started talking. It was like 8 o'clock at night. And we talked till 3 or 4 in the morning. It was a great night. I don't know why she can't remember stuff. What up, B? Did you ever notice how EK used your advice about how to find the right person to marry when answering the question on Barry Weiss's interview? Tell friends and family you're looking. Oh, I didn't even catch that. Christ is King indeed. No, I didn't catch that. Is she a fan? Is she a member of the jury? Are you rage watching or do you like this show? Maybe she's one of those girls. Does anyone have a bus schedule? Because after listening to Erika, I want to throw myself in front of the next bus. She can't remember dates, can't remember how she met people, failed at her careers in education, but yeah, she's CEO material. Well, she is on the board of the Air Force Academy. Give someone a stray 5 without saying it. She knows how to wear too much gold jewelry, eye makeup, and burgers. You forgot the finger. Miss Cato, you forgot the size of her upper knuckles. I didn't say it. Gosh, I could be mean right now. I'm not going to be because I don't want to be. I don't want to stoop to that. I bet Erika's actually vegan burger expert. That'd be funny. She never had a burger in her life. No, she's not. I can assure you that. Look at it. Congratulations on hitting 300,000. You deserve it. Thank you for inspiring me to go back to church. I'm converting to Catholic. I've been attending Mass 2 times a week for almost 3 months. Thank you. Thank you for sharing that. I always love when people, get back in touch with their faith and share the story. It's so rewarding. It's like when people ask you to pray for them in real life. You're like, yeah, I'll be happy to. And you pray for them for like a week, right? Every time you think about it, you're like, oh, yeah. Old Jimmy asked me to pray for him. And then you sit there and you're like, I pray for Jimmy. And you kind of go through it and you got him on your mind. And then you never hear from Jimmy. You're like, you get the job, dude? I don't want to ask you because if you didn't, that's weird, right? But if you ask me to pray for you, can you let me know? It'd be nice. It'd be nice. So thank you. Thank you. He just slid in, Merge. No, I'm not doing that. No. The DMs. You have to, when you turn around, it says, my DMs. But Baron doesn't really matter, but I have to say it. EK is a blonde Meghan Markle. Christ is king indeed. Can we stop saying she's blonde? She's not blonde. I can assure you she's not blonde. I mean, it might even be like black hair. It's dark. I know that. Not blonde. The origin story is from the multiverse. Christ is king. Yeah, that's the problem. They keep leaking over like gravity leaking over from other universes. Tyler Boyer saying we want to hire her and not wanting Charlie Kirk to blow it. This was their plan. The Philly Spies, a long planned plan for sure. Well, that might get back to the earlier commenter's question of why are they pushing her so hard? The long plan. I'm convinced Bill's Burgers are to blame for EK's big knuckles. It's all coming together now. EK's a big Bill Burger knuckle lie. Christ is king always, 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 always. Christ is king indeed. Yeah, I'm not going to say it. Y'all are thinking it. Well, if Bill Burgers wasn't the first date, then Charlie lied too. So which is it? I didn't say he didn't lie. That's the thing. Or Tyler lied, but that was an awfully detailed lie he told if he did. I don't know, man. To me, it goes more in line with, like, I can't synergize them all. I can't synthesize them. Excuse me. I can't put them all together. You can't read all these stories into one story. Now, I guess it's possible. They would say, well, the gym wasn't really a date. We worked out or we played basketball or we just talked or whatever. And that wasn't really a date. But they sure did give the indication they'd not been in any contact after the grand opening and before the Bill's Burger DM. They did indicate that. There's a long history of these power couples sort of making up their origin story or like refining it. Let's say that, refining it a little bit to make it a little more romantic, a little more spontaneous. And there's a question there. There's a question there. Thank you for your courage. Thank you. Thank you. She never said she did it before, but it was the first time she got runner-up. The lie was revealed in her own words. EK said write all notes with timestamps referred to all the time. Use this as a reason for CO to subpoena EK's phone to proof in defamation case. The problem is she's not suing her. Erika is not suing Candace. Brian is, and I don't think she would have Brian's notes in there. Well, maybe her notes would. I don't know. An interesting thought. Hey, B, please say happy birthday to my husband, Tim. Happy birthday, Tim. Together almost after 23 years on a cheap beach wedding. Your research and delivery is amazing. Thank you for your time and kindness. Loved in this community. Dank's collab was fantastic. Thank you for all of that. Do you live in beautiful Seaside? Gorgeous community. I saw your username. And congrats. I've seen Edge. I've seen this interview before and thought it was here, not you. Possibly another Tyler B interview. I've shown other Tyler Boyer interviews. I just have never shown that one. I've never seen that one. It was the first time I'd seen it. When I pulled up her show, I was like, "Where'd you get that?" It was fascinating. Weird question. When you looked into near-death experiences, and so many people have extrasensory abilities after, some even mediumship, how do you view that? I have not seen that. Spiritual gift, demonic possession, have you said before? Thank you. Keep up the good work. Christ is king indeed. I've not seen anybody that has mediumship. I didn't even know that was a word. So I couldn't have encountered it. No, I didn't. I haven't seen that. I'm trying to think if I've seen anything close to that. I don't think I have. Mission Genesis EX order in November sign. Department of Energy data centers, beast system rollout. No water in hell. Turn to Jesus. His blood is the only security. I don't know what all that means, but it sounds scary. And I like you're in there. Turn to Jesus. So you and I suppose, are in alignment. I don't know what all the rest of that means, but I'm sure it's bad. I'm sure it's really bad. I don't want any of it. Shawnee. Holy mackerel, Shawnee. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Grieving widows are capable of multitasking, but I still break a little every day, and it's been a year and a half since Mark passed. What burns my sweet taters and really is insulting is how bad a name Erika gives it. You know, I didn't even think about that, Shawnee. How many widows are grieving and just need time and are unable to function? And people are like, she was back at work 5 days later bragging about merch sales. Buck up, Buttercup. I didn't even think about that. That's tough. I'm guessing, Shawnee, if I had to guess, I'm guessing you were not laughing about Zoom call emojis within the first week. I'm guessing. Still very sorry for your loss, but thank you. You're very generous and very kind. You have 5 monitors. I want a War Room tour video stat. No. Actually, I did do one very early on, so I did pull the camera down one time and give you a little tour. It's in an old podcast. I don't remember when it was. But you would get it was a little bit's changed since then, but you should get a pretty good idea of what it looks like. Poor Charlie, he fell for EK's good looks and lost his life. Yeah. Whether those were related or not, I don't know. That's the question. Sparkly pants on fire, sad liar. Poor Charlie. I actually watched that video today of her coming out to the gold pantsuit. I just had to see it again. I hadn't watched it in a while. Happy 1 week of podcasting, Baron. 300,000 already. It's amazing. Just got a note in the mail and said you should podcast. Maybe I'll give it a shot. I crave intelligence and logic. Thanks for delivering. Charlie's story began when he met Erika. Hers began long before he knew the red flag that this entire thing was a setup from the beginning. Sad. IMO. Yeah, it is really sad when you look at it. And then I even think I didn't play it, but Nissy had it in her show where she said she went to Jerusalem for the express purpose of finding a husband. What a weird thing to say. The whole purpose of my trip was to find a husband. You should watch Nissy's whole show. Her analysis is great. I didn't even play half of it. She does a great job on it. Grieving widow Corey Richens wrote a book to help kids cope with loss after her husband's untimely death, appeared on local Utah stations to promote the book before her arrest for his murder. Yeah. Long history of grieving widows who turned out to have been involved in their husband's death. I mean, why was it so important for TPUSA to talk about how CK and EK met after he died? Seems like an odd obsession to me. She's a fed slopaholic, so gross. That's a good question. Why is this? I guess to establish that it was Charlie's idea. That's the only thing I can think of. That Charlie pursued her. That he couldn't get her, like he loved her so much from the very beginning that he had to travel across the country to her city. I got to get back to New York. Ask her out under the guise of an interview and then interview her about Aristotle and Plato and Thomas Becket, only to engage in a little bit of romantic subterfuge and steal her heart away. I think that's why. Absolve her a little bit. Not every innuendo needs to be made into merch. Bunch of high IQ perps. Yeah. You've pretty much identified them. The reason why she's dressed the way she is, because at the end of the video, she plays a video of Charlie Kirk dressed in the same outfit. Who's she? This is why I don't like pronouns, guys. I don't even like real pronouns, much less made up ones. Erika looks like an MK Monarch kid. Baron, we were on to her week 1. Can you imagine what Charlie was dealing with? And if he wasn't on to her, I wonder what her acting looked like. Madness. You think she ever gave him the stop? You think she ever gave him those eyes? Like he was like, honey, will you pass the peas? And she was like, you mean pass the peas? I'll pass the peas. Here's your peas. And then I passed the peas. And then he wanted potatoes. And then he wanted another serving of meatballs. Can you imagine living with it? Beef is between me and you. Drapes ain't in this mess. Yeah, precisely. Leave the drapes alone. Whew. Light of the evil one behind those eyes, like the crazy mega church guy. I had to buy the plane. Don't question me. Okay. Shower curtain is off limits too. That's a good point. Leave all curtains alone. Drapes, blinds, curtains, shutters. If it covers a portal, if it covers a puerta o ventana, leave it alone. Door or window for you guys who don't speak the language. No curtain play. I see none merch. Oh my gosh. Ed, you're the perv he was just talking about. The caption on the curtain vid should have said she carries lies behind her eyes. Hi, Baron. You have no idea how much you and all the high IQ members mean to me. Thank you for helping me get out of a dark place by being honest and being funny. Love you very much, Yvonne. Yvonne, love you very much, but with that last name, you better watch out. Erika's going to come after you. Miss Berger. Don't blame me. No curtain play here at RBP. Curtains are expensive. I've never laughed so hard. They are. They are. You go outfit your house and tell me they're not. Every time you say mountain of evidence, I can't help but think of Coach's impression of Officer Tatum. Love the show. Christ is King indeed. You'll never catch me doing that impression. No, ma'am. Won't happen. But I do laugh every single time. Every single time. One of two. Why lie about something so trivial? Why? That's 4 questions. It's almost like she wants to give the pageant acceptable answer every time. She never comes off the pageant stage. All right, out of bubblegum, I'll have to remember you when you get around to number 2 of 2. But yeah, that's a good question. That's a great analogy. It's like she's giving a pageant answer every time. Maybe that's why she was good at pageants. No curtain play in this house, lady. Yeah. Transpose those letters on my last chat. RBP, joke's on me. I pulled a joke. No, you didn't. I was able to switch them in my mind. We're good. We were watching a bunch of liars expose and confuse each other. Bull butter doesn't spread smoothly. Ooh, I like that. Jesus loves you more. Or also, yeah, bull butter doesn't spread smoothly. I like that a lot. I'm going to steal that. T's great merch idea. High IQ pervs nightshirt. I don't know about that, guys. Nightshirt suggestion. Hole, please, on the front. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did on the back. The problem with the nightshirts, Nurse Casey has alerted me, is the only way we can print the t-shirt dress is an all over print. So you couldn't do one on the front, one on the back. In fact, it would be like all over. And so we've got to come up with a plan. We've got to figure this out because nightshirts amaze me, but I got to come up with an all over print we can use. New member, somebody going to be watching on Friday, tomorrow, mañana. EFK gets me singing the Eagles, You Can't Hide Your Lying Eyes and Your Smile's a Thin Disguise. I thought by now you'd realize, and so on. You can't hide. There's so much good harmony in that song. EK is more on heat than a tomboy. So many lies. Hi, Baron. I'm new, the conspiracy theories. I really enjoyed listening to your openings, but Honest Abe wasn't really honest. Oh, I didn't think he was. Just going with the popular perception. Does that mean if you want to meet any journalist who said something about you, you could just show up? Road trip. No. You got to have a ticket. And the last guy who just tried to show up got arrested. 2 of 2. Okay. We've made it, bubblegum. Signs of being a covert narcissist, IMO. If so, from my own personal experience, I could almost guarantee that Charlie finally met the real Erika once he rejected the millions he was offered, and with it, the opportunity of a future presidency. I see what you're saying. Because she was a covert narcissist, the real narcissist came out when he gave up the money and the power and the fame. I can see that. I've got to have somebody on the FedSlop side give me an explanation for all the lies. Like before you say you're attacking a grieving widow. Okay, Here's the 9 lies we talked about today. Just give me an explanation for. Can you give me an explanation for any of them? Just 1, 2. Stop doing that. It's next to impossible to get glitter out of curtains. Christ is king, bud. Yeah, it is. Baron interview. EK fed up eyeing Mrs. Coleman. Oh. That's when she comes to the house and plays with the curtains. Can you grab her and explain we don't play in curtains here? See if you can get her to use the couch before she pulls it down. Yes, ma'am. We're not doing it in the curtains. We're not doing the interview in the curtains. Guardian also have a graphic saying Tyler Robinson taken into custody at 10 p.m. on Thursday. Well, taken into custody and arrest, well, I guess technically not the same. I don't know. That's a close one. Dr. Fraudsve suffers from diabetes. I like your play on words. Would love hold please bumper stickers. That's doable. This tracks with CO's interview with Elizabeth L. today in regard to when EK and CK started dating. Bill's Burgers was not their first date, which was news to me until today. Great data point. Love Nissy. Yeah, Nissy's great. She's great. Erika's success is she trapped for Charlie. She's full of it. You guys got right to the chase. I beat around the bush a little bit here and there. You guys are like, she sucks. She read the Bible cover to cover more than once in her dorm room. No one wants to read the book of names more than once. I mean, come on. Huge eye roll from this Catholic woman. Christ is king indeed. Well, you skim those parts. Dank said he's still praying for me. Y'all, you'll be best granddad. Thank you. If I saw the guy from the ticket line, I would be incredulous and in shock, like, OMG, this is insane. Well, she kind of acted. I mean, she was like, oh my gosh, they have the ticket line. I wonder if they'll replace Erika Kirk in season 2. Christ is king indeed. No, they said she was going to go home, and I still see her everywhere. Megyn Kelly needs to call out the liar. Dr. E. Meg is the only one, as far as I know, who asked about when the book was finished. But because she probably recalled the conversation from August with Charlie Kirk. I'm writing a book. Oh, I didn't think about that. Yeah, because on that interview, she said he was done in June or July. Yeah. EK's lies or crumbs of the lies she told Charlie Kirk. Now, listen, I think you've hit something there. I'm giving the fairest reading about Erika Kirk is she did lie to Charlie a bunch about all this stuff about her foundation and formation and all the, her spirituality. She lied about all this stuff and then was stuck with it. And so she's had to hang on to these lies for a decade now or however. They were only married a few years, weren't they? The whole thing's weird. Not that lessens the pain or anything, but you know what I mean. It's not like they had 40 years of history that she's trying to cover up. It's just a few years. But Baron, God bless you. Love from the UK. Christ is king indeed. Thank you. The whiny, annoying girl voice has me in tears. Thank you for always bringing last year's show. Christ is king indeed. I'm doing my best. Loving my humble host, bragging on himself. Go Max. Christ is king, always and forever. Hey, truth hurts, lady. I'm insanely talented. Your humble host, sure, please. Well, you want me to lie to you? I'm just doing a whole show on Erika's documented lies. I'm going to lie to you. Wondering why people are watching. Notice Victor Marks wore same ninja outfit in podcast. Christ is king indeed. I did not notice that. I'm not hearing anyone defending Corey Richins. She's a grieving widow. That's the shirt. Corey Richins is a grieving widow too. Nurse Casey. Let's get that one drawn up. Corey Richins is a grieving widow too. That'd be a great t-shirt. You wouldn't want to make that into a sweatshirt. It's a little too much of a statement. It's a simple t-shirt. Something you wear at a party. Hello, Bubba Baron. When you were talking about EK and the curtains, it reminded me of the Carol Burnett skit about Scarlett O'Hara making dress out of curtains. Yeah, come on. She came down the stairs and she has the curtain rod still in. Oh, that's great. She was funny. She was funny. Senor Baron, 30 days clean from that stuff, the M word, after 20 years. Wow, congratulations, James. Now, I am told, like, the 30 days a huge landmark from alcohol. Like, you're pretty much got it behind you. I've heard from the M word, it's like a 2-year before you have it behind you. So hang in there with us, brother. Hang in there with us. Don't give up. Nurse Casey, can we get a tumbler-style cup that says, how to keep a Joe busy, with an arrow that wraps around the cup back to the front? I don't know about that. That's kind of funny. My 12-year-old is struggling with bullies. I tell him to use his voice instead of his fists. Lately, it seems using your voice makes you a target with no support. Any advice for him? He feels so lonely, down by today's adults. He feels so let down by today. Thanks, B. I don't really have advice for him. I don't really have advice for him. I don't know, man. Because if you fight back with your fists, then you're gone. I mean, most schools these days are zero tolerance. So if any fighting for any reason, you're out, or at least suspended, or not. You don't want to recommend that to a young man at 12. I don't know. I hate that. I genuinely hate that. Really cool member competition, monthly merch or quarterly merch idea contest. Winner could contribute to type, tee, hoodie, nightshirts, hat, etc. as the prize. You're complicating my life there, if I'm being honest. You're trying to add work to my plate. It's hard enough to run the program, hard enough to create the shows. It's hard enough to produce the show while you're talking. Let me marinate on that one. My husband said when you read that ridiculous attack post from TLHB6BH out loud, you sounded exactly like Hecklefish from the Y-Files, and now I cannot unhear it. Oh, gosh, I like Hecklefish. What are you doing? Yeah, I like Hecklefish. That's a good show. I like how Erika switched outfits, like Tyler Robinson, black hat to address Candace and Drewski, beige hat for a school message, twinsies. I didn't think about that. That's a good call. Baron, I've watched the Google Trends. Love your show, team, and family. Silly X post reminds me, do not speak in the hearing of a fool, for he will despise the wisdom of your words. Am I the only one who thinks Erika's anniversary post on X sounded like they AI'd Gigi's voice? The words didn't even make sense together. I've never heard a 3-year-old call her dad by his first and last name. I don't even know that my 5-year-old knows my last name or my first name. He calls me dad. I noticed that. They played that and she said something about Charlie Kirk. And I was like, what 3-year-old calls somebody Charlie Kirk? Can you imagine if your 3-year-old walks in and is like, hey, Steve Jones? Talking to me? Well, your name's Steve Jones, isn't it? Well, yeah, but don't you call me dad or maybe daddy? I don't know. It was weird. Firefight liar. Tell me it doesn't describe her. I don't know what that means. Yes, it does. Precisely. To a T. Reality check. Podcasters aren't profiting from death. They're delivering the truth people are desperate for. The public has made it clear we will pay for honesty, transparency, and real answers. Yeah, the whole thing's so stupid. Have you ever watched the 6 p.m. news? Like, you're in Nashville, you turn on WKRN, 6 p.m. news, and they tell you the guy got stabbed on Broadway, the guy got shot over off of Wedgwood. Are they profiting off of death, or are they just telling us the news? Like, Roger Stone wrote a fantastic book about the JFK murder. It's fantastic. Is he profiting off of death? No, he's investigated a high-profile political assassination, came to a very supportable conclusion that LBJ was behind the whole thing. And he wrote a book about it because he thought other people might want to read it and learn the same thing. Is he profiting off of death? That's so stupid. What a dumb attack. You know who's profiting off of death? Andrew and Blake doing ad reads to an audience of 180 people on a show that says Charlie Kirk 3 places on the lower third. The curtain play segment made me laugh so hard out loud. Also, way off topic, go back in time to your Lionel show when Lionel called furries woolies. I didn't catch that. Did he really do that? That is funny. It doesn't shock me that Lionel is not up on furry culture, but that is funny. Did he really do that? Oh gosh, that is hilarious. I'll have to go back and check it out. Andrea being on the CK show a day or two proves what she is. A Fed slopper. I just renewed my membership. Just realized it was up. Welcome to the club. You'll be there tomorrow, Moon Goddess. Hope you're still doing well after the surgery. Where does Joe Kent reveal of being told not to investigate Seekirk murder and international links fit? Could he be brought in by TR Defense, bring receipts? I think potentially he could be. You know, a valid defense is they did not research. They did not look for anybody else. They zeroed in on my guy, and so they've only presented evidence that fit their speculation. You know, here's a guy that was fleeing from the scene. He has red hair. He looks like a descendant of the Kandahar giants. You know, I heard someone yell his name. It sounded like they said Gary. Did you guys look into him? No. Did you? I had to be on cross, so you wouldn't ask him. You didn't look into him, did you? No. You didn't go to his house? No. You didn't interview him? No. You didn't bring him in? No. Why helicopters this time? I don't hear helicopters all night. And as soon as we do a show, I like 3 days a week, we got helicopters overhead. Interesting. But yeah, I think potentially they could bring him in. Especially if he felt like there was a thread to pull on and he wasn't allowed to. Sounds like Neff started a new account and sounded off because he doesn't have the courage to say it under his own handle. My instinct says this isn't a woman. Denise? Don't you think Blake kind of writes like a woman anyway? Talks like one. Let me go back and look, see if I agree with you. Is it because it's too hostile and women aren't hostile? Oh, I got an idea. I'll let you know. I've got a program I can run that, I'm not going to tell you what it does. It's a cool program. You can put one person's writing into it and another person's, and it can give you an analysis on whether or not it's the same person or a percentage likelihood. I can run it through there. I can grab a couple of Blake's long-winded rants against Candace and see what it comes up with. That's how I found out Blake Bednar's had a alias account called Legend One or something, USA Legend One. I ran that. The analysis said it's the same person. You run it through, and it says it's the same guy. I don't know if it is or not. Might be. I must know how your convos go with Jesse about this. Erika doesn't fit this narrative while claiming to read peeps well. Love Jesse, but this drives me crazy. I've talked to Jesse about his theory a lot, actually. He hasn't convinced me yet. Baron's rants are the best. Thank you. Of course the troll is 33. Always 33. Well, yeah. That's funny. That's her age, though. Like last year, she was 32. Next year, she'll be 34. Gifted 10 Baron Coleman memberships. Those are membos just falling down on people's heads, Mr. Bruce Lee, and they're going to have access to the Dre dossier tomorrow around 1 o'clock Central Daylight Time. Thank you very much, Mr. Bruce Lee. That's very kind. Satan doesn't attack those he already has. Bring it. Careful what you ask for. The earlier award clip of Erika. At her age, only someone prone to lying and cheating would view Spark Notes as a reliable source for an honest summary. That's a good call. I didn't even consider that. Why would you need notes to know what happened in your life? You take notes because you're changing the story and you don't want to get tripped up. Gifted 5 memos. We've got more people that they're just falling out of the sky like the morning dew fall. I got to tell you what I did. I'll come back to your comment, I promise. So I like to tell my kids stories. And, Catholics will get this, and Presbyterians, just imagine you've been to a Catholic mass. One of the lines during the liturgy of the Eucharist, he talks about, the priest always talks, not always, but it's one of the Eucharistic prayers, but he talks about the Spirit falling like the morning dewfall. I love it. So beautiful. From the rising of the sun to its setting, a pure sacrifice be made in your name. And then he talks about the Spirit falling like the dewfall. It's such a beautiful, rhythmic, poetic line. And so I was thinking of the dew, right? And so I told my kids that the reason we call bird poop bird dew, pigeon dew, is because it falls out of the sky. And they were like, what are you talking about? What does that have to do with dew? And I was like, well, in mass, when the priest is talking about the Spirit coming down like the dewfall, they're like, yeah. I'm like, the dew. Like you wake up in the morning, everything's wet. It's fallen from the sky. In fact, if you watch carefully in the early morning sun, you can see the dew falling. That's where pigeon dew comes from. It falls like the dewfall. It just comes out of the sky. Sometimes it lands on you. I don't know how many of them believed it, but it was great. If I'm saying, being honest, it was a great opportunity to tell your kids a story. You should make some stuff up, tell your kids, see how long they'll go with it. You never know. You never know. Keep going. Max Barron. Some things have to be said. Someone has to say them, including and especially the truth. Thank you. Christ is King indeed. Pray for all the newly minted homeless of the K-shaped economy. This is what winning feels like, huh? Gas prices are out of control, if that's what you're saying. I know that. That's true. I filled up my truck the other day. It was astronomical. I didn't think I could laugh harder than the curtain comments, but here I am crying laughing. That interpretation was fantastic. You should do a member show reading X posts. That's a good idea. Go read all the hate I get on X. It's a lot. Holy mackerel. 18,000 views, 5,400 subscribers. Hit the subscribe button, y'all. This guy is real Bear Podcast. 5,400 subscribers. What does that mean? Oh, you're saying on average 27% are not subscribers? That means 5,400 of you are not subscribers? I could look at the stats. Take a minute. Trolls and low IQ people are saying our humble host and Candace have been taking advantage of CK's death to make money and build their platforms. Did they forget who sold merch, took money from donors that CK didn't want? They sold a replica of the shirt he died in. They did that. They sold a replica of the shirt he died in. And it sold like hotcakes. They put up a replica of the tent under which he was assassinated. His neck was opened up and he bled in the most horrifically gory fashion. They set that tent up at multiple events, not just one. We always talk about them setting up at Amfest. It was at Ole Miss too, I know for sure. And I think it was at a couple other places. And people were getting their picture taken under it. And you want to talk about me investigating his death? And that bothers you? but none of the rest of it does? What do you think the outcome will be with TREK TPUSA? Will we ever get the truth, or will it be another JFK? Thank you for all you do. Christ is King from Montana. I hope we get justice. I mean, we'll see. I've long suspected that Tyler will take a plea at some point. They'll offer him something. That's why they probably sought the death penalty on a case that, frankly, probably wouldn't ordinarily warrant the death penalty. So that they have some leverage to get him to plead to something. I don't know if there's a lesser included he could plead to, and I don't know that it would be wildly popular if they did that, but I don't know. I pray for his safety. I hope the Utah County Sheriff is very serious about keeping that young man safe. Bummed to miss the members' live show tomorrow. Very excited to have Dre Dossier in the grand jury. Keep going, Max. Christ is King. You'll be able to catch the replay. I think Tyler B. and EK were recruited at ASU into CIA, which explains why both were in Romania and her seeming travel crossover with Einstein. Oh, I forgot about that. That was a great show. I think they were in Paris together, same time. Not together, the same time. Same places. ASU was the college most mentioned in the files. That's a good call there. I hadn't even considered that. Christ is King indeed. Thank you, Baron and Daisy and sister. God bless you and keep you. Yeah, it's amazing how many people get confused and think I'm married to my sister and Daisy's my wife and Daisy's my sister and my sister's my mom. I mean, it's just crazy. Nurse Casey's sister, Daisy, dutiful addition to the team, but in no relation to anyone. Yeah, I don't know why that gets confusing for people. Maybe I haven't explained it very well. If everyone's confused, it's probably my fault. That's your only explanation we'll ever get. Congratulations, my B. 300,000 on your way to 500,000 or more before the end of the year. Keep going, Max. Before the end of the year, holy mackerel, that'd be a lot. You better hit the subscribe button if we're going to get there. How do I get a gifted membership? Go Max Baron. They just fall like the dew fall, honey. You either get wet or you don't. Fall down on you. There's really no rhyme or reason. They just randomly assign them to people. I just want to shout out my sister Shannon. She now says I'm going to listen to our boy Baron. She would not listen to someone who isn't a high IQ outfit. She keeps listening. She sounds brilliant. Sister sounds amazing. Me ready to throw hands when Uncle B gets attacked. Thank you for being an example of integrity, even when they're just blatant lies. Christ is King indeed. I don't let it bother me because I'm confident that what we're doing here is right. So it doesn't bother me. And I don't feel like there's any real open attack that I'm vulnerable to. Like I honestly believe any attack on anything we've done on this show from episode 1 to episode whatever number we're on now, just say it up there somewhere. 1 something. I feel like anything you pull out of any of these shows, I stand behind and I'm proud of. And I don't think it's underhanded or bad or anything. I think it's solid investigatory work. I have no problem with any of it. Now, we have made a few mistakes along the way. Investigations are messy. That happens. I've done my dogged best to come back to you before you guys even mention it and say, hey, we screwed this up and correct it. But I stand behind it. As much as you and Candace have been stalked and Candace bankrupted. She wasn't bankrupted. It's like you're trying to leave Scientology. Crazy. Jesus is in control and loves you. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, the attacks have gotten creative. I will say that. Very creative. What about EK saying she was with mom looking for her future husband in that interview? Go Max. Christ is King indeed. She was with her mom. I have pictures of them on that trip. I have no idea why they were looking for their future husband there, but they were. She was there with her mom. 5 membos from Cohen Film. Thank you, sir. For me, anyone who's on the other side really just hates the left so bad or are in on it or protecting the ones who are. They want to pin on a lover of a trans furry so bad they will ignore the facts. You're leaving out a class of people, I think, are on the other side, and it's people who just don't pay attention but like to be involved. They like to say what everybody, like all their buddies are saying something, so they say it. You know, they've done this psychological study. They'll put somebody in a room, 4 or 5 people in the room, and they're maybe a comedian. He's telling jokes, and everybody laughs, so they laugh. And then they go 3 or 4 jokes, and they tell a joke that's not a joke, it's not funny, it makes no sense, and then everybody laughs, so he kind of laughs with them. I mean, these are studies that have been done. I think there's a lot of that. Love my Christ is King Indeed t-shirt. Thank you. Thank you. I don't give a damn. Michelle Obama's maiden name is Michelle LaVaughn Robinson. Does this mean the common last name makes her related to the Robinson family? I kid. An apple a day, or a dom. I don't give a dom a day. Yeah, I like that last one better. A dom a day. I like that. Yeah, the whole like trying to put a relationship between Nick Shirley and Tyler Robinson. I see why they said it. I see why people started investigating. I mean, I looked into it, but it's just within a few minutes you're just there. It's not there. She'll be Dr. Erika Kirk in 5 years. LF claims doctor. King Baron. Oh, thank you, Bella Stella. Very kind of you. Congratulations on becoming a granddad. And on hitting 300,000. I became an aunt yesterday for the second time to a healthy 7-pound baby boy. God bless you and your family. Christ is King indeed, and Jesus loves us all. That is true. All of that is true, and congratulations. A healthy, bounding 7-pound boy. That's amazing. Lost my Twitter the same night as Trump. 7,000 to 8,000 followers. What a blast. 2015 to then. Never cared about getting it back until Charlie. I follow 15 people. My humble host is only one. I miss Q. Oh, I don't miss Q at all. I don't miss Q at all. Yeah, Twitter back then was a different place. My daughter made a dance video to the intro. Please give a shout out to Destiny Love. She's quite high IQ. She sounds it. Shout out Destiny. What happened to the intro? Welcome in. I miss it. Yeah, we've moved on to a different one. But thank you. Yeah, it had a nice 10 episode run. I missed the announcement about having a grandchild. Congratulations. My first grandchild is due in October. What a blessing. Christ is King indeed. A blessing indeed. Thank you. I ordered Wickles, and I think black pepper and mild salsa is too spicy. I'm so sad because they're going to burn my mouth off now. Oh, no, they're not that spicy. Now, I don't know if black pepper gets you, they might, but they're not too spicy. It's a perfect amount of spice. Perfect amount of spice. Now, it will have a little red pepper in the jar. Just don't mess with that. I do eat that, but if you don't like spicy, don't mess with that. That's spicy. Erika dated basketball players. Charlie was swimming in it. I don't know what that means. Trump is the pageant bug that bit Erika, maybe. My official 11 years clean from droogs. What are you trying to say, man? Is June 15. Moon Goddess. Congratulations. I had no idea. 11 years clean. Congratulations. No, don't cut it too short. Love your number 2 Alaska fan. P.S. Glad you feel better. I do feel better. I'm not 100%, but I think I'll be 100% by tomorrow. If the trend continues. We're trending in the right direction. About time you take some heat off Candace. Just kidding. Make them pass an IQ test before they comment. Oh, they'd all fail. Can you imagine Alex Clark taking an IQ test? Holy Toledo. Great show. Better than America's Got Talent. I couldn't agree more. I can't go up I-65 without stopping at Priester's Pecans. You know all about Butler County. I see. Fort Deposit, huh? I've eaten at Priester's Pecans many times. They've got a great little cafe in there, and their pecans are delicious, of course. That's great. Fort Deposit, Alabama. I hadn't thought of that place in a while. My grandsons call me Nunu. My daughter's idea 19 years ago when blessed with her first son. We called something else Nunu when I was a kid. But I'm glad to hear it. EK and intelligence shouldn't be in the same sentence. Well, Different kind of intelligence. Salmon yakitori over coconut rice. It was great. That is all. Wait, that's not all. Are you working on anything not CK related or have ideas for after? Oh, I got so many ideas, Mr. Khan. Ideas just bubbling out. Congratulations on becoming grandparents. My husband and I are excited to be joining the club this August. Our daughter will be welcoming a little girl. How about some high IQ onesies? We are working on infant and children's merchandise now. So that will be coming out soon in time for me to need it. You're lucky I'm going to need it. Linda LaBelle, I got to get the little granddaughter all dolled up. She's going to be a high IQ daughter, a granddaughter. Audience chatter at Smith7738 requests, hold please, baby onesies. I second that motion. Good Sir Baron, Christ is King forever. We're working on the children's merch, I promise you. What is this Tilber you speak of? Oh, my dog's name is Tilly, and I call her Tilber. I don't know why. You know, dogs end up with nicknames. I got a dog named Molly. She was Moo Moo. This is Tilber. I say it like Wilbur in Charlotte's Web. Wilbur. Thanks to viewer Patsy for the new merch graphics. She's sending me some great ones. Oh, thank you. Nurse Casey. If that is your real name, it is your. Yeah, she's fantastic. AI digital state is being jammed through. Current chaos, I feel, is for distraction for deep state control. We're seeing how much government hates us in Canada. Independent media are essential. Christ is King indeed. They are. They are essential. In the beginning of the CK tragedy, my hubs watched EK's speech and said, wow, I wish my wife loved me like that. My eyes bulged. Suffice to say, I got him hooked on this high IQ. My Redeemer lives. Christ is King indeed. Yeah. Now, you'll go back and remember, this is amazing when people try to attack me for attacking her. I resisted you guys for months. I don't know how many of you have been around for the longest time, but I think it was probably like December or January before I finally was like, yeah, all right, we got to look into her. This is weird. I kept saying, well, maybe she just grieves differently. I've never lost a spouse. I don't know what it's like. Maybe I would throw on some leather pants and come out to sparklers. I don't know. You guys remember. The shows are there. Go look them up. Maybe that's high IQ outfit can get past X. Jury knows the truth. Doesn't need defending. It speaks for itself. Love the look of the Baronisms, Baron. Well done. This is a high IQ outfit. Sorry, the low IQ folks are attacking you. And then the lowest of low IQ. So who's ready to overtake the government? I'm so ready. Let's vote. Let's vote. Let's talk. We don't advocate for violence. Baron, your comment responding to the X post was not only professional, but perfectly said. If I may, ma'am, I tend to agree with you. That's because you are high IQ. Ma'am, I also tend to agree with that. This is why your viewers come back day after day, week after week. God bless. God bless you. Thank you. It's offensive to the mentally handicapped to place Gary in that category. Yeah, that's a good point. I love the merch in the spirit of promoting families. Any chance some welcome in undies? Christ is King. Oh, gosh. I love it. Yes. Now, see, that's a perverted message I can get behind. Get behind. Your opening statements remind me of Paul Harvey. He and Will Rogers would have a field day in today's world. Christ is King indeed. DJT equals Temu Jesus. I agree. Sorry, Baron, asking to play song. Christ is King. You're asking me to play the song? I can't play music here. YouTube gets weirded out by that. In fact, I'm keeping my eye on it now because there was a little music in one of the clips I played. Grew up in Huntsville, Alabama, but stuck here in Blue, Colorado with a slew of grandkids. Thoughts on the live IED in Mobile, Alabama? Yeah, I looked into that. That was a weird story. Daisy brought that to my attention this morning, and I did some reading on it and read several articles. I just don't know how a grenade type IED would do much damage to a dam in Mobile, Alabama. I mean, a dam is, I think, pretty reinforced. So It could be as simple as somebody just threw it out as they drove over for whatever reason, like they were running from the cops, or I don't know. I really have no idea about it because when they exploded it, it didn't seem like it did that much damage. I watched the video. Hope you're feeling better today. If you aren't, you are a good actor. Oh, I feel much better. Not 100%, man, 83.76%. If you want to send prayers, my oldest with my only GC grandchildren cut me out 2 years ago. Christ is King indeed. Jen, I'm sure that's tough. I hate to hear that. I'm sorry. I will pray for you, Jen. Always thought how odd it was when Charlie didn't respond to EK's hug as it was announced on election night that Trump won. Special moment for him, yet so cold to her. Wonder if he'd caught on to her. He did kind of lean away, actually, now that you mention it. Replaying it in my head. I think I would run out of doctor's office faster than Usain Bolt if Erika was the nurse that said, time for your process. Oh, gosh. Baron, please, the merch store URL again. Thank you. Real Baron Podcast. Here, I'll put it up here. It's got a little extra stuff in here, but it's the only one I have that, right? I deleted all the others. It's the only one that still has it, but it's right there. Well, it was right there. It'll come back. There it is. There it is right there. RealBaronPodcast.com. I wish I could pause it. You could see it. I'll leave it up for a minute. It bothers me rolling down there, but I'll leave it up for a minute. If she read the Bible, it certainly wasn't the New Testament. My first super chat last night about my near-death experience. Love the show and community. Please pray for me. My health is poor, and I can barely see because of an issue with my eyes that has caused many tears. Sorry to hear that, Teresa. We'll pray for you and your eyes. I'm glad you're still here with us. Like you, I didn't about CK's qualities prior to the event. CK was good on campus. Now I really like CK. I believe he was authentic. You can change your mind attacking you as sophomore. I agree. And even in the clips, she had 2 or 3 different clips she pulled out. And even in those clips, in one of them, I was like, I actually watched with great glee some of his college stuff where he was just savaging these college students. And would, like, that's your attack on me, is I've found great joy in watching him debate college students? Come on. Last night I was talking about, I mean, it'd be one thing if I was like, I despise the guy. I hated his guts. He's the worst guy ever. I didn't say that because I didn't feel that way. So why would I say that? Last night I was talking about Freemasons, the cop that was 4 hours away from Utah and announced there was a 33-hour manhunt. That's a huge Freemason number, along with the text was 833. What text was 833? I don't remember that one. Edge, thank you. I needed that edge. It's been a day. Much better now. Edge, I got you covered. Got you covered. Your opening tonight reminded me of Jeffrey McDonald. Went to high school with a guy who was a pen pal. You ever looked into that case, Fatal Vision? No, but I worked for a guy named Jeffrey McDonald. Is it the same guy? I like Jeffrey McDonald a lot. He's one of my, I liked him quite a lot. Let me see here. Fatal Vision. Nope, not the same guy. Have to look at it. That's interesting though, man. Seeing that name weirded me out. You're open. Oh, already read that. Jake GTV does incredible and believable AI voiceovers. His stuff's pretty funny sometimes. Gifted 5 membos. That's 5 more people will be able to tune in tomorrow to watch Dre Dossier on the member show. EK, the Beepster, the Orange Man, all of them read the Bible. They need to be jailed. That's your opinion. Meant to include a little tip with my member post, Cradle Catholic and now a secular Franciscan. Christ is King indeed. I have a friend, I believe he's studying to be a secular Franciscan. Maybe he's a secular Dominican. I have to ask him. But I'm glad you mentioned that. Thank you. And thank you. I'm a Shabbat your shalom if you don't quit, Pubs kids. Oh. Oh gosh. I don't even know I don't know how my kids would take such a thing. Sober a little over a year. I love your show in the community. Love my RBP sweatshirt. Thanks for all you do. Thanks for all you do. Thank you. And congratulations on being sober for a little over a year. You inspired my wife and I to start our own show. We did episode 5 today, Christ is King Indeed. I'm a big fan of people doing content. Put it out there. And just understand, you're probably only going to be broadcasting to friends and family at first. But then ask them. Say, if you like it, share it with your buddies. You know? And just use that opportunity with a small audience to just sharpen your skills. Get better. Get more natural. Forget about this thing. Act like this isn't here. You're just yelling at a guy across the room. Not everybody talks as loudly as I do on air. I get that. In fact, it's the number one complaint people have when I go on someone else's show. They're like, you're a totally different person. I'm like, yeah, I'm not going to yell all over their microphone. That wouldn't be cordial. You'd mentioned having kin in the Revolutionary War. If I had a nickname, specifically Old Coley. If he had a nickname, specifically Old Coley, we need to talk. Jesus is King of Kings. I don't know if he had a nickname. His name was, the anglicized version is Jacob Coleman III. He was the one in the Revolutionary War that I'm aware of. I'm sure there were others. Jacob Coleman III. I do believe, though, it was still German spelling at that time. Jakovkuhlmann, if I recall. Or maybe he was the one that anglicized it to Coleman, Coleman. But yeah, been around a long time. Been busy this week and hard to keep up on EST with Candace going late. Oh, you mean EDT, Eastern Time, Eastern Daylight Time. Barron is officially going to be a granddad. So excited. I am so excited as well. Thank you. Barron, the people are pushing the Good Citizen song because it's all about how the government elites have done the citizens. You really should listen to it off air, of course. Just saying, I actually did listen to it today. It was fine, but it's some Australian pop star and she gets millions of views. And the song seemed to be from a while back. I'm just curious why, like this week, it's blowing up. Might be. You have the best merch. Don't tell Candace. I will not. Best line of the night, leave my curtains alone, lady. Was up there with Don't Be a Joe. I had no idea. I even said that. Barron, you mentioned Catholic conversion made sense once you clarified sola scriptura. Any resource suggestion for the Catholic curious 5-point Calvinist along sleeves of my new merch? Tulip. What is it? Total depravity, unlimited atonement. No, limited atonement. Irresistible grace. And I used to know the tulip stuff off the top of my head. I used to have a whole 8-page PDF of it memorized, and now I've forgotten it. Been a while since I've argued with Presbyterians. A book on sola scriptura. No. I don't have a book off the top of my head. Here's what I would do. Google Scott Hahn, Hahn. Google Scott Hahn, sola scriptura. Watch whatever comes up. That's what I would do. Scott Hahn, sola scriptura. Just watch. Watch it. He'll do a good job on it. Why are not more people looking into the drone aspect? And John Cullen, who's the only person that covered the drones. Elbit Systems has a contract with Fort Huachuca. John Cullen was an active member of X until October 2025 and has not been located. Where is I Am John Cullen? I believe he was back on Patreon this week, if I'm not mistaken, or he was a guest on somebody's podcast. Look on X, you'll find him. There were several people that linked to the podcast he was on here recently or something he did. So he's back. The reason I'm not looking more into the drone angle is I don't see evidence of it. I like John Cullen. I've followed his stuff in the past, but I don't see evidence of the drones. And that's why I've not looked into it. It's why I haven't talked about it on the show. Thank you, though. Very, very kind donation. I think the Tim Tam cookie got you. I knew it when you said wheat and milk. I didn't even think about that. That might have been what got me, because it certainly did make me sneeze a lot that night, and then I ended up with a sinus pressure and pain. That could have been it. I didn't even think about that. I misheard on Candace's show as Harry Carey. That would be great to have that made, especially half-lit Harry Carey. Harry Carey, Skip Carey, Chip Carey. What a great broadcasting family. Chip Carey was great. Chip Carey left the Braves and went to the Cardinals a few years ago when the Braves were having trouble working out a contract with their broadcast affiliate. That's when they went to FanDuel. He left and went to the Cardinals. I guess they had a more stable situation. It was a very sad loss for me. But I have to admit, I do like the new guy. But I remember going back like Pete Van Waren and I don't even remember all the broadcasters the Braves had over the years, but those are like the voices of my childhood. Skip Carey, are you kidding? I could listen to Skip Carey call Chipper Jones up to the plate on repeat. I can't even do it. Chipper Jones comes out. I'm not buying EK's a burger fan, maybe In-N-Out. She says she is. Praying always for the Coleman Camp from Oklahoma. Also a big congratulations, Granddad and Grandma. Trisha, thank you, thank you, thank you. We could always use the prayers. Is there still a Discord group? Couldn't find it last night when I tried to log on. Wasn't sure if it was removed or was shut down. I don't have any control over it. I don't know. It's not my thing. I don't like Discord. I don't get on Discord. I've only seen like bad things happen in Discord. They always start off with good motives and then psychos show up every time. Her nose is different. Makeup can fix some things, but not the bulb at the end of one's nose. Glad it came up. I've wondered. You talking about Erika Kirk? No. Erika Kirk before and after Charlie. Edge? Did she have plastic surgery? Edge? Why have I not heard this? What? How? Guys, they look different. Hold on, let me pull this down. They look different. That's a different nose. It looks like it. Looks like a different chin. Edge? I'm going to have to do some research on this. I'm kind of beside myself. I'm on top of myself. I'm below myself. I'm beneath myself. I'm beside myself. Excited for kids merch. I don't have kids. I'm just really small. Keep going back. Yes, it also fits little people. Hi, B. I'm Carly and truly so proud to have been a follower for more than 6 months. Your talents shine and your high IQ perspectives radiate truth and excellence. I have so much love for you and your growing family. Christ is King indeed. Well, thank you. It's very, very kind of you. Very, very kind of you. You guys say stuff like it humbles me. Dag Nabbits. I really wanted some women's tees, but can only wear 100% cotton. I can't even wear the RBP tank top I bought due to it not being 100%. It just makes me sad. Men's shirts just don't fit the T. Right. We can look into some 100% cotton, Nurse Casey. I don't know what options we have. I'll look. Make a good point. Got to make sure everything positioned correctly. You mentioned something before regarding if pets go to heaven. Maybe I made that up. No, you didn't. Do you mind elaborating? My lab, Gravy, was diagnosed with cancer. Christ is King indeed. It's one of my more unpopular positions that you have to have a soul to go to heaven. You have to be able to make a choice to follow Christ. And as much as I love Von Tilber, my little Carolina dog, I'm just not sure that I'll ever be reunited after the judgment. I don't know. I mean, maybe there's dogs everywhere. Maybe I'll get up there and be like, oh my gosh, dog crazy place. But that, it's just the way I rationalize it, the way I see it. A very unpopular position, admittedly. Send an email about arrest affidavit. Okay. Please explain the knuckles. I forget. Oh gosh, this is my second most unpopular position. So you see, you have a space here between these two knuckles of meat, and you have a little meat up here. The meat here should not be too much wider than the meat here. If it is, there's a gigantic lover of food just begging to come out and play. Just dying to get out. And you're going to have to fight that thing the rest of your life. You're just going to, you're going to have to like push it down, resist, drop an atomic elbow. Like you got to get that thing under control because it's just going to die to come out like, I'm ready. I'm here. No. You stay down there. That's the knuckles thing. My second most unpopular position. I won't get to the third because you guys won't tune back in. Sam Shepard was the basis for the old TV show The Fugitive. Oh, okay. I did not know that. Widow here, first date, 3/7/80 at Burger King. We met in high school, 43rd wedding anniversary today. Oh, he died in 2021. I wish EK would brush her hair. Okay, I was all sad, and then you said that because I've thought that same thing. I'm like, does no one care? Like, she's got all this money. She flies around the Gulfstream 5, and no one has a hairbrush. Yeah, I'm sorry to hear that about your husband. 43rd wedding anniversary today. I hope you're having a wonderful day. I know this is probably a hard day for you. But I'm glad it sounds like you had a wonderful life together. And when I say viral, I mean a couple other losers reposted. Thank you for making me laugh often. Best humble host ever. I do my best. My adult children start talking about Jesus. To my surprise, they noticed how it all started for young people after the Big Bang. So many coming back, if not to church, at least realizing there's more. Yes, I keep hearing that. There's something going on. Churches are swelling. Don't forget to press the like button. Where are we on likes? Are we in a good place? Do I have to chastise you people tonight? No, we're okay. We're okay. Considering how late we started, this is pretty good. AK wore an ill-fitting sport coat, and KP wore a woman's FBI jacket. Dumb and Dumber. Love your show. Brilliant. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Pass the peas with joy. I don't know what that means. First super chat. Been here since number 7. ASD. Son had near-death experience during surgery. Says God gave him a choice. He can communicate telepathically with other autistics. I talked to my nun sister Jo about RBP, but she's not a Joe. Interesting thing about the autistic son who can speak telepathically with other autistics. You should all watch Ian Carroll's podcast he did on the telepathy tapes. Fascinating. I had not watched the underlying he watched a whole bunch of shows, and I didn't watch all those, but he did a great little compilation on it, and it's wild. It's been a year and 8 months since I lost my soulmate of nearly 25 years. I barely survived losing him and literally could hardly make myself shower or even clean the house. She is purely evil. End of story. Oh, that is such a common reaction from widows. That's such a common reaction from widows. I'm sorry to hear that. Ooh. You notice the caption for social post Nissy showed of Erika pic. It is Tyler's post, 6/13/19. He tagged Erika and says, introducing the Arizonan. Yeah, I did see that. It's a play off the word APAC instead of American is Arizonan. I did see that. King Bubba Baron, loving my shirt and mug, addicted to the show. Haven't missed an episode. Do you think EK will ever give the truth about where she was? Mm-hmm. Were the drapes part of the PSYOP Candace discussed? Remind us she was a bride that lost her husband. Why else the curtains? If that's what she was trying to say, then she missed it because that is not what anybody got out of that. What are your opinions on Nick Shirley? I don't know. I watch with interest and intrigue. I noticed he was in Cuba a week ago doing something and apparently staying in some hotel where only certain types of people are allowed to stay. And then this week, the CIA is in Cuba. Interesting. I went back through his mom's X feed not terribly long ago and just scrolled. And it's also interesting. It does not look organic to me. I loved your intro. Grew up hearing Sam Shepard's story as Bay Village is next town over. Knew a woman who worked in medical examiner's office during that time. It was sus from beginning to so many. That's an interesting story. Cool brush with history there. The only thing EK succeeded at in her life is silencing her husband. Allegedly. Allegedly. Not reading that one. EK doesn't have the sense God gave a goat. Can I steal that? That sounds like a nice Southern expression. I don't have the sense God gave a goat. I'm going to steal that. EK is so full of bull butter that I'm shooketh. Her eyes haven't turned brown yet. Her being her twin brother is not enough. Yeah. Yeah, it's not. I may quit her job as a doctor because of the jab. Now sings about the state of things in the world with amazing truth, and her music is fun. Thanks for all you do. I did read a little bit about her. In the words of Judge Judy, you don't have to have a good memory if you tell the truth. That is true. That is true. Shirt idea, bullies are no bueno. Christ is king indeed. Bullies are no bueno. 6'1" to 606. EK on Fox and Friends shows looks a lot like Duper's Delight. Rewatching early interviews sheds a lot of new light. I might have to go back and watch some of those. That's an interesting comment. EK just gives me the ick. My son had a baseball game, so I wanted to pop on and thank you for all you do. Can't wait to finish the show tomorrow. Buenos noches. Buenos noches. Sleep dress. Stay out of my curtains. Yeah, could do that one. Could CK have found evidence of assassination plan? So he sent message, I think they're going to kill me, and told AK to do a live show to either thwart the plan or let them know he knew. That's a stretch for me. I'm awesome in physical therapy now and hating it. Oh, good. I'm glad. Well, I hate that you hate it, but I'm glad you're doing it. And you should do a lot of it and do all the homework. Check your last Twitter post. I just posted another first meeting between E and C, according to AK. I saw the video, but just groped it quickly. E and C, according to AK. What are you talking about? Twitter post? Oh, please. My Twitter post? On the live tonight? How am I going to find that? There's 38 comments. I don't know what you mean. Email's the best way. I don't always get notifications on social media. How did I miss Woolies? How did I miss Woolies? I was on the show, Freddie. Like I was sitting right here in this chair talking to this camera. Love you. Feel like the First Amendment died 9/10. Oh, honey. The First Amendment died a long time before that. The First Amendment died long before that. Off topic, but did you see the post Victor Marks made about Corby Hall today? I did. Accused Corby of threatening to remove him, then released Corby's vehicle information and encouraged people to turn him in. Thoughts? I thought it was low budget. It was desperation. It shows me he's just getting crushed in Colorado. Can I ask everyone to pray for my dog Snickers? She has tumors, trying to decide on surgery. She's 12 in August, leaning against surgery. Thank you. Christ is king indeed. This dog's getting tumors. There's something wrong with it, guys. I'm weirded out by all the animals and tumors. I'll be honest with you. Really weirded out by it. Sorry to hear that. Hi, B. I wrote an article when my dad died about my 5 cries. The most wrecking cry was when I saw how broken my mom was. Her grief made me strong. Erika is an abomination to widows. That's a harsh thing. I mean, I don't necessarily disagree with you, allegedly, in my opinion. But man, what a harsh way to word that. Christ is king indeed. Erika said she didn't know Charlie because she wasn't part of that world is another lie. She dated Cabot, who worked with Charlie and played basketball with him. Plus, she had a family friend deep in that world. Plus, she told the 15-year-old in Michigan that she had white tattoos on her hands or body or whatever, and that she worked at high-level politics in Washington, D.C., and it didn't hold her back. We always forget this in her narrative. Somehow everybody lets that pass, and nobody just says anything about it. That's a real thing. Another lie. Can you please explain the grammar of Baron and me versus Baron and I? Also, have you seen the doc What Ravens Do? Yeah. Me is an object, I is a subject. So if the usage is as a subject, you use me. If the use is an object, if the word is an object, the pronoun is an object, you use I. It's that simple. So the object of a preposition is always going to be me. So if it's for me, if it's between him and me is the object of the preposition. It will always be me. If it's not a preposition, if it's not an object of preposition, it doesn't matter. It's still an object of the sentence. So it was given, well, to me would still be the object of the preposition, but I. So here's a picture of Bill and me. Here's a picture of Bill and me. Of Bill and me is the subject. The object. And so it's always going to be me. And the easiest way to do it is just remove Baron and from the sentence. And would you say me or I? You would never say, here's a picture of I. People would say, what's wrong with you? You having a stroke? You okay? You got a fever? You feeling okay? So, but people say, here's a picture of Bill and I. No, Bill and me. Here's a picture of me. Here's a picture of Bill and me. You wouldn't say me is going to the store. No, you say I am going to the store. So Bill and I are going to the store. It's not me and Bill are going to the store. I is the subject. It's that simple. You can remember subject, object, or you can remember just remove Baron and. What would you do? What a great question. What a great question. We're going all the way back to 8th grade grammar here, guys. Erika's a poser. There's something very dark about her. Way before she met Charlie, in my opinion, she makes my skin crawl. I'm going to look into Edge's theory that Erika's not Erika. And if Erika's not Erika, I'm going to look into Jesse's theory. Because I'm totally weirded out right now. And you notice the up-talking, I think, is new as well. Did she up-talk before Charlie passed? I don't remember it. What are your thoughts on Fuentes? I don't really have any. Sometimes he's funny. I don't really have any. Things you tell your kids. My kids believed when they were little that the police were in trees because you couldn't see them. It worked. Stayed in their seats and kept their seatbelts on. Yeah. That's diabolical if we're being honest. Like, that's a step too far. Let's keep it to pigeon do, okay? Let's not tell them the cops are rappelling out of oaks. See that elm tree, kid? Cops, buckle up. Let's go with pigeon do. For a decade, my dad said I wanted to name you and your sisters Avo. And then when I had my first, he recommended Avo with my maiden name. I gasped at his slow, rolled dad jokes. Wanted us to be avocado. Aguacate, as they say in the our friends south of the border. Hey, that's hilarious, Miss Cato. That's hilarious. LOL, sorry, lots of questions between the red heifer and golden calf. Trump, I think I've heard that story before. Christ is king indeed. Thank you. Money is the root of all evil. Love your show, B. The love of money is the root of all evil, for sure. Hi, Harvey. Are you looking for that, Harvey? I haven't heard from you in a long time. I'm not. You're going to give Harvey I hope Harvey's watching. Charlie's reversal of support for our greatest ally left him no choice but to abandon his cause and end the threat before it gained too much momentum. There's a lot of A lot of people believe that. A lot of people believe that. Scott Peterson case, an example, in my opinion, of a case tried in the media. Believe he's guilty or not, he never had a chance because of media coverage. Well, he also dyed his hair, grabbed $8,000, and fled to Mexico. So there's that. In the law, we call that headlong flight. I lost my H to a tragedy. My kids and I were devastated. Widow group of 20 said she was off. They nailed it on week 2. I'll do a pattern for us. I'm a surface pattern designer. Tennessee TPUSA law in all schools. I'm sorry you lost your husband. I think your widow's group is consistent with every widow I've heard from on her. EK has the Kenneth Copeland eyes, and she's just as twisted. I never noticed Kenneth Copeland's eyes, but I've heard a lot of people make that comparison. The random X post says you're over the target. Oh. Thank you. Thank you. I'm starting Rome Sweet Home. I just finished chapter 2. So good. He's an excellent communicator. Scott Hahn, even if you read the book and you're like, man, I just don't know, I don't really agree with all that, he's an excellent communicator. And you'll be edified for having read it. I'm glad you're reading it. Thank you. Careful telling stories to your kids. I told my class in 4th grade, my dad traveled in a covered wagon. Guess where I got that idea? I don't know. Oregon Trail. My dog's name is Pepper, and I call her Pepperoni. Yeah, dogs should have nicknames. That's how you know you love your dog. I need the hold, please. Going to use sizes 2. Haha, my littles still demand to be held, and they're a little high IQers too. Wouldn't be mad if you did homeschool real history too. Christ is king indeed. I have enough work on my plate, man. Please don't. How did you know? Did you know about EK Proclaim LLC? Do I know about? Let me see. It's not in my drive. Is that a company? Let me look again. Let me look at a different folder. EK Proclaim LLC. No, I don't know about it. Thanks for asking. It's a shame how wrong the history books write about the Austrian painter. Not a popular position. Ian sent me back in January. Been a regular hang around since. Got my RBP Membo today. Figured it was time to stop freeloading my nightly entertainment. Congrats on 300,000. PS 10 years sober here. Congrats to us on never turning back. Yeah, once you put it behind you, stay away. Like you can't even look at it. I don't even want to smell it. I don't even drink the wine in church. I just right on by. As a merch idea I could get behind. Yes, I said that. Oh, got a new member there as well. She tried to make it more romantic. Remember, she said, let me tell the story. You don't say it right. That's a good point. Congrats, Grandpops. As a grandma with multiple back surgeries and chronic pain, I swear pain takes a hike when playing with grandbabies. Christ is king. Good. I'm glad to hear it because there are days I'm in pain and need it. She really can't do anything with the honorary degree, right? Well, I mean, no, not real. We believe Christ is king, and when we encounter one who believes differently, we extend the same kindness we strive to extend to all in Jesus' name. Amen? So why are Christians being spat on and persecuted in the very nation we give billions to? I think the question sort of answers itself. Thank you for that. How do I gift memberships? I only see options for Super Chat. I don't know. It's in there. I've done it, but I don't know how to explain it. I need like a slide deck. People ask that. Erika, alibi pick, 8:33 a.m. AI finger and leg wrong. Oh, I know what you're talking. The kids? Yeah, it kind of looks AI, but it's not even a good alibi. She's not in it. Did the judge decide that YouTubers can attend a trial and film? I don't know the answer to that. I doubt it because there's probably only going to be a pool camera if I had to guess. That's how most trials are done. Just received my hold please mug. Love it. God is good. On this one, I guess a YouTuber could ask for the pool cam stream, but usually it's done on some sort of a like keys, or like you get the keys to a stream feed or something, and then you can run it anyway. So thank you. God is good indeed. How do we gift memberships for other? I don't know. You just hit the button. I don't have it pulled up right now, so I can't tell you. I just have an option in there. It's just membership, gift membership. 33 Freemason Lodge, 262 South Mall Drive, St. George, Utah. First live for me, Baron. Love your work. Thank you. Thank you. That's the first comment I've read from you, and I love your comment. So, kind of in the same boat here. IMA is the Australian singer's name. Awesome songs. I'm Australian also. Good night, mate. Go Max Baron. You're awesome also. Christ is King indeed also. I noticed the nose, but I assumed, like most rich, she got plastic surgery. But did she get it after he died? Because that's weird. Maybe that's why she looked like hell on that first, when she was laughing at the emojis. I don't know. That's wild. I'm going to have to go back and look. I got to get to the bottom of this. Another good merch idea. New member, love this mucho. Christ is King. Oh, thank you. Very, very nice. Christ is King indeed. EK jawline amount of eye makeup is crazy as that nose. Yes, 100%. She isn't blonde. I went to school. I know what dyed hair looks like. Her nose in the Zoom vid is huge. Edge. There's a rabbit hole, and at some point tomorrow, I'm diving in, and I might miss my haircut. I'm gonna dive in when I wake up, and I may not come up for air. Baron C. Wikipedia, a blankination of Charlie Kirk. Robinson's father then drove Robinson to the sheriff's office the evening of September 11th, and Robinson was taken into custody without incident. Yeah, I think that's undisputed. It's just what time was it? I'm okay with Nick Shirley. Organic or processed, the fraud uncovered is incredible and extending to all states and more than Somalians. Keep going, Max. Yeah, I'm all for fraud being uncovered. Don't get me wrong. I'm all in favor of that. Looking for Charlie in, I don't know what that is. It's a flag. I don't know which one it is. It's too small. But he was there with Candace. Oh. Probably our greatest allies flag. Any thoughts on the gerrymandering situation in Virginia? No, none. They can work out their own map. I'm not in Virginia. Thank you. Whoever said the sleep shirt and curtains, Pedalo. Can the Queen speak to Tucker and organize a live get-together? And do you think Tucker would want to learn everything this high IQ podcast has revealed? I don't know. I think Tucker has strategically only occasionally dipped his toe in the Charlie Kirk water. Sorry, Baron, I didn't mean to complicate. You don't have to apologize to me. I lost my precious husband 36 days ago. Oh my gosh. Lizzie, I'm so sorry. As a new widow, I'm horrified daily by Erika Kirk's every move. Don't ever let up on her, period. I am so sorry, Lizzie. The widows, like I say, I keep saying it, but I say it because it's true. The widows are the hardest on her. They don't buy it. They don't buy it. I mean, I doubt our friend Lizzie here is coming out in a gold pantsuit anytime soon. I'm sure my ex would be saying, poor Erika. Gosh. Sent you an email with book info and the LLC info. Thank you. Check it out. EK Speak hurts my ears. Dr. Magna Dum Laude always says myself and Charlie or Charlie and myself. Yes, that's a whole different one. Myself is way overutilized incorrectly. Yeah. Christ is King and D Go Max. I like that. Nice username there. Dogs are angels already. Dogs are great. Dogs are kind. They're loving. They're loyal. Angels are divine beings. Like, they play a role in salvation history. Like, I love dogs. Don't get me wrong. I love my dog. A little leery about other people's dogs. You guys ever watch the Pink Panther, that old movie, Pink Panther? And it's a great scene. It's on YouTube. You can look it up. They do it better than I do. But the guy walks in and there's a dog there. And he's like, does your dog bite? And the guy looks up and goes, my dog? No, he doesn't bite. And he goes, okay. And so he's sitting there and the guy leans over and he pets the dog and the dog bites him in the hand. He pulls his hand back and says, I thought you said your dog didn't bite. He looks up and goes, well, that's not my dog. It's great. It's absolutely wonderful. That's why I don't pet other people's dogs. A lion never worries about the opinions of sheep. Thanks for the follow, Baron. Eco. Don't know what that means, but you're welcome. You're welcome, storyteller. Mike Coleman's settled in the upper Susquehanna River in mid-1700s. Old Coley was Thomas. His younger brother was boiled alive in a kettle of maple sugar by natives. Are you serious? What a way to go. That's horrible. You'll never believe this, but I used to live near the Susquehanna River. That's wild. In fact, I walked out onto the Susquehanna River when it was frozen one time. The mid-1700s. No, they weren't there in the mid-1700s. And there's no Thomas that I'm aware of. Not in my line. Maybe a cousin or something. Try gifting memberships from a laptop. More often than not, it doesn't show up as an option on my phone. Now we're getting somewhere. Noses change with pregnancy and makeup does wonders. It's makeup. When she wore a lot of makeup with Charlie, she looked like that too. Her profile picture and the one in the green dress. Oh. I'll check it out. I'm going into the hole, guys. You don't have to spoil the surprise for me. I might get down there and find out it's the same person. But I'm going to look. I've got a new dog. I'm a dog on a new bone. I'm going to go gnaw in the corner for a few minutes. Who is this dude EK took to White House Correspondents' Dinner? Is he TPUSA or X? No, I don't think she took any dude to the Correspondents' Dinner. I think she strategically took, honestly, I think it was, this is me being awfully skeptical. I think she took a picture with that guy to try to draw out critics who would say ugly racist things. And nobody bit for it. Nobody bit on it. She looked great. There's nothing bad you could say about her that night. Until the curtain video came out. And then you're like, all right. Yeah, man. But no, it's the Correspondents' Dinner. You show up, there's a backdrop, you take a picture. I think that guy works for Fox News. She was sitting at the Fox News table. It's very likely they were just walking in together, like, hey, let's get a picture. Okay. Yeah. I'll be honest. If that dude, I don't know him. And what I'm about to say may be totally wrong, but I don't think that dude's into women. maybe he is. I don't know. He doesn't seem like it. So I don't think that would be anybody she'd be with. But when I first saw the picture, I thought, that's a trap. They're trying to get people to say, she's moving on awfully quickly, isn't she? Nobody fell for it. Not that I saw. And then if they were trying for that, surely they thought some racial language would fall. I didn't see any of that either. I thought people were pretty classy for the most part about the fact that she showed up. She looked like $1 million. She did. She looked great. Until what could have potentially been a coordinated flight from the Correspondents' Dinner, crying at the perfect opportune time, right as the camera was there. I just want to go home. But is what it is. Can't do anything about it now. Guys, if you've not yet had the opportunity to, and you've liked what you've seen to this point, please, by all means, hit the like button. If you hated what you've seen here, let me know what I can do better. I'll be happy to disregard your commentary. No, I would tell you, if you have legitimate criticism, I'd be happy to listen to it. If you've not subscribed, please do. It's easy. You can click the notifications. You can know when I go live. Tomorrow, if you're not a member, you still have an opportunity to get a membership. If you get a membership after the fact, it'll be up on the members' side. You'll be able to watch it after the fact if you're not able to watch it live. I usually do it pretty early in the afternoon on Fridays because kids usually have baseball or some sort of activity Friday night, or we do something as a family if they don't. So I try to be done at a decent hour Friday so I can spend some time with the family, get it started on the weekend. Shabbat shalom, But no, I appreciate you coming in. I appreciate you being here night in and night out. It means a lot to me. It does. I don't get worried by the critics or the attacks. There are a lot of them lately. Apparently they've decided to weigh in on this show as well. And I'm okay with it because I'm very confident that what we're doing here is fine. We're doing it right. We're doing good research. We're very confident in our positions. We raise a lot of issues, and some of those issues bother people, but they shouldn't. They should be asking the same questions. They're just not doing it. We are. So I'm not that worried about it. In the meantime, though, one thing we can all agree on, or one thing we should all know or be very confident in: Jesus loves you. Have a wonderful night, guys. I appreciate it. Thank you. For those of you who are not members, I will see you Sunday night. For those of you who are, I will see you tomorrow. Look forward to it.